and welcome to a very special live stream podcast from the spare bedroom. It's Xplay time. Ladies and jelly spoons, we are here. Welcome to a very, very special live stream. This is the Xplay reunion special. All of us here were a part of Team Xplay, and so today, the KindaFunny Games crew has been so kind to offer their beautiful studio, oh my gosh, to our disposal. You know
what I love about this this set is we didn't have to paint it.
It can paint itself.
That's the best part.
Here's something fascinating.
It can paint itself.
Is that, you know, I've known Greg and the gang. Really, they are a gang. They actually jumped me. Not into the gang, but they jumped me when I was out home one night.
That's how they assume their power.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I don't look them directly in the eyes, because it's just not.
Yeah.
But yeah, they actually were able to get this space in very early January 2020. Obviously, COVID and stuff like that, and you know they were able to launch it last month. And it's kind of neat when you look at that space and time. Another television station was able to create itself, put a show on the air, and go away in those 2 years.
In record time.
Record time.
Any percent.
Speed run the company.
We speed run it. Well, today we're going to be sharing some stories, answering your questions, and saying goodbye to Xplay our way. If you would like to ask Team Xplay a question, we'll be doing a really fun audience Q&A for the second half of this stream. Feel free to do so with the, we have a fun little Google form you can fill out. And you can find that with the command !Xplay in the chat. That is !Xplay. And then additionally, we are giving back is really, really important to all of us at Xplay. So during today's stream, we are honored to be raising money for Rise Above the Disorder, aka RAD. Woo! Shout out to Rihanna for helping put this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful charity event together. So we've even got a special video to tell you all a little bit about RAD. So let's check it out.
2, 3.
My name is Jason Dockton. I'm the founder of Rise Above the Disorder. Rise Above the Disorder is a nonprofit that covers the cost of mental health care for people all over the world. To date, we've covered the cost of mental health care for over 38,000 people spanning 133 countries. And with your support, we can reach so many more people. For every $5 raised, we're able to help somebody afford their medication. For every $30 raised, we can cover an entire week of therapy. And for every $600, we're able to cover therapy for someone throughout the whole course of their healing.
So yes, RAD is on a mission to make mental health care accessible for everyone, everywhere. And so if you'd like to donate to RAD, we have some fun perks.
Yes.
Jake.
Are they fun or are they fine?
They'll be fun for someone, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
You know.
Well, let's talk about that, because
talk
one
about
says
them.
that fun is in the hand of the beholder.
Well, that hand's going to be slapping me in the face for every $500 we make.
Yes, at every $500, someone will slap Jake. At $1,000, someone slaps Jake again. And then if we hit $1,500, someone slaps Jake, or maybe we give him a break. You'll get to decide, chat. So click on, you can find the link to donate to our Tiltify campaign for RAD with !Donate in the chat below. That is !Donate. And so, all right, we've got housekeeping out of the way. Let's chat.
Usually I have to pay to be slapped in the face, but now people are paying for a good
it's
cause.
I don't know if this is down in LA, but when I moved up here back in 2012, around that time, it was really popular to actually do a Thai massage that involved face slapping.
Face slapping.
It relaxes the muscles.
That's an unhappy ending.
So does Valium. It was one of those, like, I really wanted this idea that, like, every night, whoever was working at that Thai massage parlor just was taking, like, all these hundos and just stacking up and just laughing.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Well, we'll take those hundos for charity. So
Absolutely.
bring them on in.
Slaps for charity.
Well, slaps for charity.
Hey, you know what? At least I don't have to play Persona 5.
That's true. You dodged a bullet.
Suck it on the Switch. Anyways, so speaking of games, let's go around the table, starting at that end, beautiful end right down there. For everybody in the chat who maybe might not be familiar with you or what you did at Xplay, give yourself a little background info.
Yeah, who are you?
Who are
yeah,
you?
Who are you?
It's a great question. I am Jake Bennett. I was a creative producer at Xplay, which really just means I wrote and produced stuff, was sometimes on camera. End of list, I think. Yeah, that pretty much sums it
Well,
up.
you're also you're a big booster for which college?
I'm not a big booster for Alabama. I know that's what you're. Yeah, no.
Here they have a sweet home there.
I do, yeah. Yeah, but if we're going like deep background, I was born in Huntsville, Alabama on June 17th, 1986. I don't know how far back we're going.
I mean,
You go as deep as you want to go, brother.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm just going to pass it off to Nick.
Yeah, my name is Danny Pena. I used to be the. Oh, thank you.
I mean, I can get shit. Okay, it's fine. No, you don't. It's fine. Go ahead.
You know, it's because of Stray. That's why. Yeah, so I was the games editorial lead at G4, so I'll work with a lot of the gaming companies for opportunities for us, interviews, review codes, and other stuff too. So that was a lot of fun for me doing that with Xplay.
We know who you are.
Who are you?
And you're the legend, right? The
Do
legend.
you know who you are? I'm concerned.
I don't know about that. My name's Adam.
Woo!
I showed up occasionally on the camera, talked about some games, and drank coffee. Yeah, but I also got to work with these people, which was great. Danny saved my butt, I don't know how many times, because he did the job I never wanted to do again for the rest of my life, which I almost ended up having to do. Jake made me laugh. Emily wrote great things that I read all the time, and I didn't get angry. And Gerard was just an awesome person to work next to. So I'm more happy to be next to you than I am to see me on that television.
Thank you.
Can I say one thing that's very important to me? This is going to be like your official final goodbye.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. You pointed this out. For those of you out there who probably know who I am, you may not have noticed that I tend to just disappear from things. And then people are like, whoa, where's Sessler? And then I have to, through my lawyer, usually say they got rid of me. So this is the first time I actually get to say, I'm gone. I'm going. Goodbye. I don't know when I'm going to get back on camera again. Actually, our friend Paris, I think, said it quite elegantly a few months ago on the social media. He said, I would like to find myself in a position in life where I can just disappear. So I might do my own General MacArthur. After this and fade away. But I actually get to say I'm doing it rather than, once again, through my lawyer.
There you go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Rose Jacobson, and I am a creative producer. I was creative producer for Xplay. This was such a dream come true.
Show mom. You were kind of the show
You're
mom.
the show mom.
I was kind of thinking like dead mother.
Den mother. Well, you.
Call any woman who works on our team a mom.
That's true.
What if they're
Yeah.
a mom?
Show leader.
We don't.
She's the nice Texas
I know.
lady.
You know how I
with
know
the
they're not
cookies.
my mom.
I'm the Southern Comfort show person. But it was such a dream come true. I remember I have such a definitive memory of watching G4 TV when I was in high school. I just had my wisdom teeth pulled out, and I watched y'all's Comic-Con coverage because back then, I grew up in a small town north of Houston. I could not imagine myself, and now my accent's coming out, and I couldn't imagine myself going to these events or being a part of this industry. So it was such a wonderful full circle to just come and help reimagine and bring back this wonderful show, and just had so much fun doing it. So it's an honor. It was such an honor to work with you all, and it's such an honor. Thank you again, KindaFunny Games, for letting us all be here together. And this has been such a
Really
joy.
appreciate it. Thank you.
And we're just getting started. Gerard.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, my voice is shot. I'm Gerard the Completionist. I was one of the hosts of Xplay. Towards the later half of my run at Xplay, I was stupidly promoted to executive director of content strategy, which is basically a fancy title for I know how to YouTube. But more importantly, the thing that I feel that I'm most associated with is the show that we made, God of Work. I played Kratos, and I co-created the show with Emily here. And G4 and Xplay, since the very beginning. When I got the opportunity, I knew that I had to take it just because, get that footage. My career has always kind of been in a culmination of what I learned and loved about Xplay, and to be able to come here and give back, even if it ended shortly, just meant the world to me. So, and thank you all for putting up with me and believing in me at the same time. It's been a pleasure working with all of you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, we have some other guests we're going to bring on in a hot second, but just for those at the table, got 2 questions for you. What was your favorite project to work on?
Ooh, I could tell you mine. Just a couple.
I mean, if you want to, you're going to share some stories later too.
Yeah. For me, I think it was important to do the Def Jam project with Corey, the Black Okage, and also Joe Geraldo. We worked on that for months, because we wanted to highlight the game. And also, I was trying to get a lot of the hip-hop artists that were involved with the game to be part of it. So we eventually got David Banner to be part of the video. But originally, for those hip-hop heads, and I know Adam was super surprised about this, I was talking to a lot of old-school rappers. Like, I had Slick Rick that was planning to... So I had Slick Rick, I had Master Flex, legendary DJ. I was talking to, it was a lot. I think I was trying to get also Busta Rhymes and a couple other people, Wu-Tang, and the schedule was just chaotic. So we just stayed with David Banner. But yeah, that was very important to me because I think, one, I wanted to highlight the game, hip-hop culture, and I wanted to show the team that it's all about the content. It's not about like what's hot at the moment. And the video did pretty good, man. A lot of great feedback. People loved it, so.
Oh, well, also, hopefully it encouraged EA to consider.
Yeah.
If there's ever a franchise I want to play again. But yeah, just to reiterate what he said, it was either through Slack or you told me, but it was way too casual. You're like, would you have any interest in interviewing Slick Rick? And I was like, And it just,
Danny was fun about sliding those really casually into your
always. I was always surprised in the
Or
crew.
else he'd be like, Emily, check your email. And I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like, Bethesda's composer, Enon Zur, is coming to the studio. Would you like to do interviews? And I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We passed along the Todd Howard message to you, and then we had to pick you up off the floor. And
Yep, Todd Howard.
you had the vapors.
I held it together for Todd on the phone, and then afterwards I became a puddle. Jake.
Oh, man. It's tough because there was so much that I loved doing on Xplay. God of Work, which we'll talk about later on. But as far as like the other videos that we did, like I said, it's so hard to narrow it down to one. I really loved working with Joe and TBH, like when we were, and I didn't even write the videos. Joe wrote all the Professor Choke videos. It was fun just goofing around with those guys. Those were fun to do. The NBA 2K review was fun. The one I think that meant the most to me, though, was getting to do the one about how football games are just an RPG.
It's a brilliant piece.
It's a great piece.
I think that might be my favorite one. That was the first thing that we did that I was like, okay, maybe I can do this because I very much had imposter syndrome starting out, and that's what helped me get over that a lot. Was getting to do that, and I got to hide a little like homage to my dad in there, who was a football coach for 50 years, and so doing that meant a lot to me because we didn't really get to do much about sports games, and that one was a lot of fun to do. That one meant a lot to me.
The idea that anyone has imposter syndrome working on Xplay, I'm chuckling inside because when I started out, like I was an imposter. Like I wasn't really playing that many video games until I got the job.
Right.
And then everyone else who was brought on, we're like, what are we doing?
Right.
And
Well,
yeah,
the thing is, like, I mean, when I came in, I was kind of like, well, I'll come in and kind of try to be more of the comedy than the video games. And because I would be sitting in a room with all of you, and you'd be, oh yeah, this person directed that game, and that publisher made this one, but it was developed by them, and I was like, I don't know it.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I can't find my pants in the morning because, well, I'm filled up with just this arcane, completely useless knowledge, except in that room for that 1 hour a week where it actually has some type of application.
Right.
I loved picking your brain in our Fallout Brotherhood of Steel video about the T.S. Eliot poem.
Yeah. Because we were talking about the Wasteland and that, what was it called? The Brother...
Oh,
it was called the
Fallout,
Brotherhood of Steel?
Fallout Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah.
It was the last game Interplay made.
Did that one actually make it to air before
my last
the
one.
sort of damn
The last video we have uploaded is, speaking of Joe, we've had a lot of love for Joe in the chat. Joe wanted to be
Joe
here.
Girardo.
Yeah,
Joe
he did.
Girardo.
God bless Joe Girardo.
He wanted to be here. Unfortunately, he was unable to make it. So thank you all for giving him shout outs and love in the chat. It's his video that's the last one up there, which is a fantastic piece of
Incredible piece.
that kind of it puts together which weekend albums go with which Metal Gear Solid games.
It was very Xplay. Mm-hmm. It was a great one to go out on.
Weekend is a person.
Yes.
Yes.
The rapster.
Yes.
The rapster.
The Raptor, yeah. I just found out that there's a white rapper, McElvoy.
Macklemore.
Yeah, I thought that was a thing too. I thought it was like one could be a Macklemore, not that there is a Macklemore.
Oh, like a milkshake duck.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking like a milkshake. Like, I'm gonna have a Macklemore and some fries.
It sounds like a
Maybe
fish.
it sounds like a fish.
It sounds like a dish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight's special
So-
was grilled Macklemore.
No, 'cause I was thinking like when weekend
Rice pilaf
albums
and-
being like, I'm feeling kind of in a
Metal Gear Solid
Eurythmics mode, or maybe I don't know. I'm trying to make it funny here.
Good.
Yeah.
I mentioned to Joe, I'm like, thanks, Joe, for creating an awesome video that shut down the network.
It was so good.
Yeah, sorry.
It's so powerful.
Sorry. Thanks, Joe.
Going out with a bang, yeah.
The other thing I would have to say, I just love working with Joe. I know we're going to see something from him later on, but because I'm a nerd in all facets, not just the video game facet, and like Joe is the only person I have ever found that read as many comic books as I did in a given week. And I was like, oh, my secret can be out with him. and like, I just miss being, because every time I'm like, make Joe produce my video, because we would like, they would take an extra hour. Because I'm like, oh, did you read this? Did you read this? Did you read this? And anyway, so, hi, Joe.
Hey,
Hi,
Joe.
We love you, Joe.
Always doing it for the
Miss
culture,
ya.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Love the dude.
Well, Emily, what about you? What did you enjoy working on?
There's so many. I think it's really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I have a special place in my heart for our Fallout 76 video because I was like, let me talk. That was one of the first things I produced and wrote back during the beach house days. And I really wanted to talk about Fallout. And they're like, okay, SEO seems high. Let's make a video about Fallout. What Fallout do you want to talk about? I'm like, we're talking about the game that Emily finally dove into when the pandemic hit. It was Fallout 76. And so that was so much fun to work on with you.
Yeah, because also, I was one of the people that, from a distance was watching the launch of that game and didn't truly appreciate the fact that it really had turned a corner. And so I learned something in the course of reading your words out loud.
It's gotten better. Our video's true. It's really fun now. And there's the pit expansion. So there's that.
I got the time now. Maybe I'll be giving it a whirl.
Adam.
We all do.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But I loved that. I loved the Skyrim video. That was such a love letter to make too, and that was really, really fun. I got to co-write that with our executive producer Michael Leffler, and that was just so much fun to make. And then just God of Work, doing the live streams every week. I love talking about news, so helping out with Speedrun the News and News Speedrun, the two sides of the coin. And that was just, I loved everything. It's so tough. It was just honestly, I got to wake up in the morning and say, oh, I get to go to work today. And that's what brought joy.
Yeah.
and seeing the whole team.
Yeah. Going in the office and like getting Leffler to talk to like my job, my secret mission of every day was what can I get the boss to go on a tangent about? And
Avatar.
We talked about
Jurassic Park.
Not the one
Florida.
that bends air,
Yeah.
but the one the
blue
Fern
people.
Gully.
Yes.
The Fern Gully. Yeah.
You know, I just remember right now, didn't you work on a video naming all the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park? That was incredible.
You
that
had
was
to
my
do the
video.
dinosaur list.
That was my video. We were supposed to do Jurassic World. What was it? Jurassic World
Evolution?
Evolution 2.
Which, for those who haven't played it, which is most of you, it is a successful franchise. It's more like a sim where you're
It's like Zoo Tycoon.
you're raising dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
top
Tycoon.
down.
like that.
It's a top-down Jurassic Park
Sim.
tycoon.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. And I was like, Leffler, I need a little help on this. He's like, well, I have an idea. I want to rank every dinosaur in the game. And I was like, Leffler, there's over 100 dinosaurs, man. And he's like, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. And it just kind of became his video. That's exactly it.
He got to research and write it.
I know. The man
In
just
his
has
underwear at his leisure. I had to read all of them out in 90 minutes.
the names. The names are the.
Which is, they're Latin with a little bit of Greek sprinkled in.
Yeah.
And like, you have to say it once, and then you'd probably say it 2 to 3 more times in the description of why it got the 32nd ranking. It was,
Yeah, and he legit ranked every damn dinosaur
Yeah.
in that game.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you.
Yeah, but you know what? I completely forgot. I'm re-traumatized. Thanks, Jay.
Well, if we talk about Ninja Turtles, I will be too.
Gerard.
I got you.
Yeah.
I have 2 things that were my favorite aside from obviously God of Work. The first thing is that I loved working with you, Danny, on any of the game showcases that we did for all those indie developers and even some of the bigger ones. Like we did the Ghostbusters reveal. We did obviously
Mina the
Mina the
Hollower.
Hollower
Mythic Quest.
Mythic Quest. We did
Homebody with the Game Grumps.
Homebody with the Game Grumps.
Yeah,
You know,
I forgot about that,
freaking
Mythforce, yeah.
what was it called? Oh yeah, Mythforce. Freaking Heart Machines game, Hyper Light Breaker. It was just so cool. In my mind, the future of Xplay was going to be the place to debut games, not just for AAA, but for indie, giving them a platform to work their asses off to showcase their work.
Yeah.
Is that him in the
Shout
chat?
out to Leffler in the chat, who is now saying, Seth's reading dinosaur names for an hour is my favorite. Allosaurus forever.
Allosaurus was so easy to pronounce. I remember that. I used to have records. You know what records are? They're
Yes.
they're discs.
I have vinyl out.
But I, as a kid, had one of those little kids record players, and I had my dinosaur record where they had songs about the various dinosaurs. And remember the Allosaurus song? I used to sing along with it.
You know,
I was very lonely as a child.
Gerard, I just remember, I think it was Mina the Hollower. We were trying to raise money for the Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
And it was only like with around the 30-minute mark, we had already over 100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
But then they
awesome.
hit their goal on the show.
Yeah. Live.
Yeah,
live
live on the show. That
It was
really
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, those moments were special to me because we were highlighting a lot of the indie games, and yeah, we made it special. It was a lot of fun.
No. I mean, I had similar, hopes and dreams for the show as well. That it's when you say safe space now, it means so many things. But a kind of a place that things could be introduced to an audience,
Right.
with a bunch of people around them who are quite enthusiastic about just the idea that there's a new game.
Yeah.
Which means that we don't have to scramble to figure out how to fill 15 minutes of YouTube.
Right.
20, but yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I think
Nice.
the second thing that I always loved working on was just kind of kickstarting and supporting the Secret-ish history series that we kind of came to do a lot of. The Secret-ish history of Metroid was like my first true X-Play video, and to kind of see you, Sessler, take the ball and run with it over and over again, and each one just got subsequently more fun, but more dense of information and more informative. It was just so cool to see that, and those were always my favorite videos that we would produce.
Same.
What was neat about the Secret-ish ones, and this is definitely true of the Silent Hill, is we would, it came up with Fallout a few times, is, I've been around a long time. My knees have been telling me this recently. And I'm like, hey, I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember when Sato. I used to hang out with Sato all the time because he was actually up here in the Bay Area when he was working on Silent Hill 2 and doing the cinematics, and it was just like, oh yeah, this has been a pretty good life. I really enjoyed those for that reason.
Yeah.
Well, we have two other special guests that I'd love to bring up here. So if two of y'all don't mind stepping out for a second, we have
Bye-bye.
two more important people
I've warmed it up.
to Xplay to bring to the stage. Executive producer Megan and you get the fog.
Jake Joe.
I'm doing great.
I don't know if you.
Director Gabrielle Thomas. How are y'all doing?
Good. Hello, everyone.
Good. So I gave you a little bit of a baby intro, but tell it for everyone watching. Give them a little tasty taste of what you did for Xplay.
What did I do?
I know
What did
so
you do,
much.
Gabrielle?
I do.
So much.
I was a director for most of the sketches.
All of the
sketches.
One of the best. One of the best.
I was a producer at the end of it. I was a coordinating producer. I helped all of the creative producers get the shit going. And then I started as a coordinator, and the lovely Megan Lutz and Michael Leffler believed in me deeply, and now I'm a director, and it's crazy.
G Money is in fact in the house,
Yes.
ladies and
Hello.
gentlemen.
I need to throw out a couple. When you're a coordinator on a show like Xplay at a network like G4, it's kind of like when you're in chemistry and you learn about how atoms are all bouncing around in a gaseous state.
Yeah.
It's like your job is to somehow contain them, bring down the temperature, let them move less. It's a very difficult job. She was also an exceptional electronic key wrangler.
That's true.
There was a period of
That's true.
time where someone, not us,
Not me.
had failed to pay the rent for the cesspool up here in San Francisco.
That did happen.
And
Forgot about that.
yeah, and so I couldn't get in. I would show up there every day and swipe the card, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't go there." And it took an extraordinary length of time that would have only taken even longer for me to actually
Right.
record something, were it not for the intense wrangling of Gabrielle
Well,
to
we
get
were.
payment to go in.
You
to
were
the
supposed to be on our
grinding
live show, so we
Oh, yeah,
were
that's right.
working with the clock.
right,
Like,
yeah.
I'm on the phone all night with them. I'm on the phone in the morning. You're giving me play-by-plays of you not getting in still, and I'm like, we need a key.
I think I was
Yeah.
like running teleprompter and paying the rent at the same time.
Yes, you were.
I think I was like trying to get my hand into a couch to see what change was in it, to see if that could bump us up. I mean,
Yeah.
we were that close to a GoFundMe.
Yes.
Just so we could do the C block.
It was good. It was
Like
good. I
B
love
block, he says he's in. B block, he says he's in.
Go live, go live, go live.
All the behind the scenes stories.
All right, Megan,
it.
explain yourself.
I'm Megan Lutz. I'm one of the co-executive producers. Thank you.
Yes.
Along with Michael Leffler, he brought me on in, I think, December of 2020. And we did like G4 together, Beach House. We brought on Emily and some other producers, and then we launched the show. So,
She was always angry in those VOD videos.
yeah, it drove me to be really aggressive and angry.
Yes.
That's
I'm
your
actually
true
very even-keeled.
You're about the most even-keeled
Yes.
executive producer I've ever
Thank
worked
you.
for.
It's my stress response. I learned it early. I used to work and talk.
Well, same question for the two of y'all. What was your favorite project you got to work on?
It's so hard because we worked on so many things. My favorite thing to produce was always the live streams because it was so fun to like make games, and I love the rush of like live and problem solving in the moment. That's my favorite part about producing. So I love doing all the live streams. I love doing the Scroblin horror stream in the
Oh
beach
my
house.
gosh.
It was so fun. We like dressed Cassim up in this insane.
No, it was
ghost-
Jefferson.
No, Jefferson was a test. It was
that's
Cassim in
right.
the stream because he's so tall. And we just behind everything we had him like sneaking in. We were writing like Scroblin lives like behind people. It was very.
It was like
fun.
very out of the corner of your eye horror. Like you just see, like we'd be carrying on a normal show and you just see like like these fingers come into the door frame and then hover for a second and then disappear. And we were like, this is so great. This is great. And then Amelie was doing horror VR.
Yeah, we tried
fell
to
on the
scare
floor.
her, but she got attracted to the monster, so it was bad.
That is the least surprising revelation we're probably going to have today.
Yeah. I know I've said like The Quarry before. I know I've talked about God of Work, Stray, obviously Stray.
Yeah.
But
Congratulations.
thank you.
Game of the year.
You did.
Thank you, everyone.
You did it.
I
It got
personally, me, myself, and I are responsible for Stray. No,
You are the voting committee.
what honestly was like some of the best moments. We did a Sunday showcase stream at the crack of dawn.
Xbox Bethesda
And
Showcase.
honestly, it kind of feels like the last family reunion type of thing. We all woke up early. We got way too much food in the morning. It was like breakfast tacos, donuts on top of donuts, and we're all very tired. And Emily cannot stop making the worst predictions throughout the stream.
Yes.
And it is somehow the funniest thing I've ever been a part
I
of.
get very excited. Dead Island
Island
2. I
too.
get very excited, and I like to be like,
For Dead Island 2?
just for games, just for game announcements, for
Game
trailers.
announcements,
Like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, it's this. Because I did it during the Game Awards. I called Alan Wake too.
Yeah.
As soon
You were
as it
impressive.
started. And I
Sorry,
was,
I just relived that in my mind.
and I was like, yeah, I'm on it. I'm good. You know what? It's, if you shoot, what is it? Shoot your 100% of the time, you miss 100. I miss 100% of the shots I don't take. I miss a lot
And
of
the
shots,
ones you took.
nonstop. But I made a compilation of those predictions as well. But thank you. I mean, I just love this industry. I love games.
Well, it
And
was just really like doing those showcase streams was hanging out with your friends talking about games. And it was awesome. So
and getting hyped about stuff. They showed Starfield. I cried. It was great.
every time you see
Yeah.
Starfield.
It's so interesting because I was watching that stream from afar,
Mm-hmm.
and I every time you said maybe we'll see this, and I'm like, oh God, Emily, like I just hope.
Let her dream.
But it's such an interesting contrast to what those used to be
Yeah.
back in the old days.
Yeah.
Where we would, the first, Sony especially had this incredible habit of finding the most rundown and decrepit facility within the larger Los Angeles area to have their press conferences at, like places I'd never heard of, like the LA Arena. I'm like, it just sounds so dull. More importantly, they would do it there or the Shrine or somewhere else for
Yeah.
their press conferences. These places were built prior to the internet and were kind of abandoned prior to the internet. So it was always a fascinating experience to try to do a satellite broadcast out of them. And almost to a T, every Sony press conference, our prompter would go down. For the 1 hour pre-show. And then Sony also had a habit of starting 20 to 25 minutes late.
Always.
And
I remember.
so I was always assigned that because they're like, prompter goes down and then I'm just vamping with poor people. And I'm just like, well, let's talk about the PSP. Yeah. Siphon filter.
It's an
That's
important
the
skill set.
day.
Yep.
And
Vamping is
now we
very
have just the
important.
luxury of people just sitting on a set they're already comfortable with all the technology there, with no weather or facility that you don't know to try to do things,
Yep.
and it all works. What I'm saying is, kids, you have it too easy.
Very easy.
You don't know.
easy,
I
too
mean,
nice.
yeah. They strapped a goat to my face and then said, "Talk Sony," and
I mean, the showcases were also surprising in the sense that they'd be like, this is going to be an hour and a half. And it'd be 10 minutes. And we are scheduled to go an hour and a half more. And we're all just like,
So we have
Oh,
to
you
like
mean
come up with fillers.
Disney.
Disney.
Yeah.
Where you're like, wait, was that a showcase? Okay, I have to talk for an hour now about that.
That was very short. Shout out to
About
Blessing.
Disney.
Blessing was
Yeah,
holding
Blessing,
that.
Yeah,
Blessing
yeah.
killed it.
Bless.
Shout out to
Blessing.
Blessing.
We blame it purely on him.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Thank you, Bless.
He was too good. They had to take him off. He's too powerful. We
So
can't
good.
let him be screamed for so long.
Yeah.
But thank you both for sharing your stories. We're gonna do a little rad check-in real quick. So far, we have raised $155, which means we're only $345 away from Jake getting his first Slappo of the day. So if you'd
Yeah.
like to donate, use !donate in the chat. some fun little information about RAD. So yeah, RAD is on a mission to make mental health care accessible to everyone, everywhere. They've helped over 40,000 people receive mental health care in over 135 different countries around the globe. Universal healthcare is possible. RAD has 3 programs, a therapist finder program, community care program, and a grant program. So the money we're raising today is to benefit those programs. And like I said, if you'd want to join Xplay in supporting this cause, feel free to donate at !donate. Hello.
Yeah. What's if people want to just kind of go through a link? What's that link?
Oh, it's it's
Oh no,
Bitly. I
Jake,
think
are
we have a
you
Bitly.
prepared?
Bitly.com/Xplay is rad.
Yes, Bitly, B-I-T.
Xplay is rad.
Yeah.
And how much does it cost to slap someone?
Just the easy price of $345.
$345.
All right.
Oh wait, is this happening live? Is this happening live?
Jake, get your face ready.
Well, Jake, get Jake ready.
And in the
I
meantime,
think it's
just a reminder as well, if you have a question for anyone up here, or just for Xplay in general, you can find our Q&A Google request doc using by typing in exclamation point Xplay into the chat. That's
Can I slap you?
exclamation point Xplay. That will take you to our question Google
oh my
form.
God, it's
I have a
official.
little hand.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news.
Wait,
Wait.
we just jumped.
So we're about to go to, well, I think it might be 2 slaps.
We're just shy
It
of
might be
2
2
slaps.
slaps.
Wait,
All
no,
right.
no, it's 1 slap. We
One slap.
need
It's at
$80.
But it's $9.20 right now.
Which means we're $80
That
away.
wasn't even me.
Of 2 slaps.
We've raised money.
You were
Charity.
We got to do the slap now.
We got.
You volunteered
this
for
is
this.
the
slap.
challenge.
you
Yeah.
pick.
The slap.
You pick who slaps you.
Oh, you got to pick a slap.
I'll take the ring off. I promise.
Oh.
I know how much.
And we also
I won't
have
hit you
people
that
from
hard.
KindaFunny also could slap you too.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And that's why I'm not gonna let you do it. I'll let Megan do it.
All right, Megan, let's go.
Megan,
Right here. I'm gonna
she plays
Megan
softball.
gets the first
Clean
one.
it up. I gotta see this. This is history right here.
At least tell me which side. You're right-handed, so okay.
Here, come take. Yeah, come
Oh, scooch behind Emily.
Oh, wait.
behind me. Do it right. I'm gonna
All right, let's go.
Have to-
All right, right there.
I'm gonna look up like.
We're doing this live. We're doing this
Just live.
live.
How light, how hard?
No, you don't get to ask
Light.
that question,
There's no
Megan.
light.
You
There's no
decide.
light.
I'm gonna get out of the way.
There's no light. Ladies and gentlemen, this is
This is a
live.
$500
Level
slap.
a
Make
little
it
bit so
good.
you can,
This is live.
What is that wind up?
Here it goes.
I'm winding up.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, there you go.
Hold on. Oh my God.
Are you ready?
yeah. Ow, you shocked me. Sorry. That's not even the worst thing.
I got really excited.
All right, slap number 1.
1, 2, 3.
No, that doesn't count. Come on. That doesn't count.
Do it.
Come on.
Yes, a real
This is
slap.
for charity.
How was that?
Huh?
How was that?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, that was good. Okay.
Yeah. Next time we.
That one left a little ringing in my ear.
First slap underway. Another slap. Maybe
I'm sorry.
close behind, but we'll check in at the next rad check-in. We are moving on to our next portion of the show, which is our behind-the-scenes and stories element. So for a little transparency, we were planning to have a variety of clips here, things to show. Unfortunately, we are not able to do that right now, so we are going to all use the powers of our imagination.
Yeah, thanks, Tex.
You can imagine these with us. Come on a journey. And if you would like to look up the videos that we're talking about, you can find most of them on the Xplay YouTube still.
Yeah.
So, first of all, we do have a special message from a good friend of ours at, oops, as I call out the clip. We do have a special message from one of our wonderful, wonderful hosts and friends.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, WWE superstar Xavier Woods, a.k.a. Austin Creed. Who is such a joy to have on Xplay. Special shout out to him. He was such a joy. Let's take a look. He sent a little message for the team, so let's take a look.
What's going on? WWE superstar Xavier Woods, a.k.a. Austin Creed, but a.k.a. the Commish. Yeah. So, I wish we were saying hello on better terms. Really sucks that G4 is gone. Really sucks even harder that we all found out through a tweet on the internet rather than being content. Anyway, I'm going to start ranting. Thank you guys at KindaFunny, everybody over there, for letting this fantastic group of people, finally get the closure that we were not allowed to have. So you guys are fantastic per usual. And to the Xplay crew, you guys are such an incredibly talented and fun group of people. And I'm sorry things went down the way that they did, but I'm glad that you all get the chance to be together and say your hellos to everybody, say your goodbyes, and just have a great time, guys. Thanks again, KindaFunny. I gotta get on a flight. Well, I just got off a flight, but I get on another one. You know, I'm jet set. You know your boy jet set. Commish out.
I think everyone kind of knows, but he is like the nicest.
He is the
in
nicest.
the world.
So professional. He'd go all day. I don't know how he does
He gave
it.
really good hugs. They would always pop my back. His hugs were so strong. I would feel like a piece of my back I'd be like, oh, I got an adjustment. Because Austin gave me a hug.
I pretended to have anxiety attacks a few times just so I could get the rub and the pop. So
Yes.
Yeah, the rub and the pop. Yeah, I bonded with Austin because I did the WWE video where I decided to do a flip in it, and he was like, I didn't know you did gymnastics, and we're talking about like how we both do flips, and one of the running jokes that everyone here knows is I injure myself daily, every day, and I was having insane leg cramps on God of Work because they were 14+ hour days. We were doing a lot, and we were going through so many scenes that I was on my feet too much. And so I couldn't stand anymore because my legs were cramping. And there's just like a hilarious video somewhere where I'm on the ground and Austin's like, this is the stretch, because of course he knows all the stretches. He's like, you need to put your leg here. Yep, that's it. And he's like, all right, don't put any weight on that. This is like, thank you. You're a fantastic person.
See, it's not just TV. It's like calisthenics in TV.
Like, perfect.
Is that what the old people do in the pool? I'm going to probably be starting to do that soon. So I
should probably find out what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
know.
think you like lift your leg.
Yeah.
Lift your leg.
Water
aerobics.
aerobics is correct. Yeah.
So Danny, we're just gonna start off our little BTS stories segment with you. There's a few things you wanted to talk about.
There was a couple. I remember.
We touched briefly on Def Jam.
Yeah, talked about Def Jam. Bringing Reggie Fils-Aimé was special to me. I started talking to Reggie when the network launched around this time a year ago, and I'm like, Reggie, I would love for you to come over here to the studio. We could do an interview, and my goal was to have Golden Boy to interview him. The reason is because they're both from the Bronx, and I felt like that was like the perfect group to get together and record an interview for Xplay. So I remember I did an event with Reggie at GamesBeat. I hosted a keynote with him, and right after that we went straight to the studio. And before that, I got married. Our wedding was like a couple days before that, so it was like insane that week. And yeah, it went well. It was awesome having Reggie in the studio. Also, Peter Moore. That was a lot of fun. I just texted him like, hey, Peter, you would like to come over here and talked about what is it you're doing now? And he showed up. Danny Trejo was a lot of fun too. And I'm trying to think if there's any other. Oh, well, originally we were going to have also Sonic Team.
Oh, man,
They were going to come from all the way from Japan to the studio, and we were going to do like a whole special episode about Sonic Frontiers. Never happened. Also, the Ghostbusters content video that you guys were working on. That was an amazing one too, man. That whole week, right before the shutdown, that whole week was busy for everyone. We had a lot of projects going on and everything.
Who's talking about the cake?
You
The
can
cake?
later.
The cake?
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, you can talk about the cake.
Well, you can talk about the cake.
I just wanted to make sure I'm not going to.
We got to
No,
talk
no,
about the cake.
No. Just that, like, I always, and I was always hitting up Emily, like, oh man, I have so and so coming in, so and so. Originally, too, one of the ideas I came up with is I wanted to talk with Bethesda about Starfield. So
I've heard of this game.
yes, it's a very well-known game.
Yeah.
So one of the ideas I came up, and I don't know if we can ever gonna make it happen or anything like that, but
yeah.
I wanted to surprise Emily to go to have the team Tower to come to the studio, or for you to go to Bethesda East Coast and surprise you, for you like to play Starfield for the first time. And that was something I really wanted to do.
Gosh, it would have been so. I'm just gonna tell you all right now. The click-through rate on that video would have been insane. It would have been
Yeah,
like
and-
woman loses her mind over Starfield.
The reason why I came
In front of Todd Howard, she ruins her credibility and her reputation in these 5 minutes.
the reason why I came up with the idea originally when we released the Oblivion video, I think that was was it Skyrim? It was a Skyrim.
The Skyrim
not
video,
the-
yeah.
About to say there was an
I was like,
Oblivion.
No, no, it was Skyrim.
when do
my
we
bad.
do an Oblivion?
So many games.
It's like let's stealth
Yeah, so
with Adam in Oblivion.
that video
I want to watch
launched the day of the relaunch of the network. Mm-hmm. And we were just sitting down, and Blair Herder just popped up, and he's like, "Hey, Emily, I have a surprise for you. Somebody wants to talk to you." And I'm looking at her like, I wonder who it is. And it was on video, and it was actually Todd Howard.
Oh my
And he was
gosh.
like, "I love this video. This video is amazing. Hey, look, I can be there for, to have an interview with you guys. But hopefully next year, once closer to launch, we could make that happen." I was like, "Oh man!" So that's how I came up with the idea of surprising you. I
Right.
know that game is so special to you. So
1,000 planets.
Also,
the
I have a
Obsidian
feeling that
Persuade system.
I still want to do it.
the team that works on especially those type of games, like they work long and hard.
Yeah.
And I think for them to see an Emily reaction to their efforts could be exactly the shot in the arm
I think
that one needs.
Bethesda has this somewhere. They have the footage somewhere at E3 2016 or 2017, whichever one had the Fallout 4 VR and the Doom VR. Mm-hmm. I waited in line to do Fallout 4 VR because I love me some Fallout 4. Mm-hmm. And I put it on, and I started crying with the headset on because it was mostly when you raised your hand and they had put the Pip-Boy there. And I was like, oh, like this is right there. And I breezed through their like little tutorial really fast because I'm like, oh, this is Red Rocket Station. Take down the mole rats. Go into the town. Fight the raiders. Meet Preston Garvey. We've done it. And so I breezed through it real fast. And they're like, wow, okay. Look down. Close your eyes. We're gonna program a surprise for you. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I lift up my head. They're like, okay, open your eyes. And lift up my head, and they've put a rocket launcher in my hand, and I turn, and there's the Death Claw right there, the Death Claw from Concord. And I was just like, just seeing that thing in like VR, like right next to you, just like just trying to take it down. And I was just crying and laughing so hard. At the end, I take off the headset, and the Bethesda PR people are in the room with cameras and microphones and stuff. And so the footage is somewhere, and I hope whoever watched it has enjoyed
I'm
my
going to
joy.
go hunt that down.
I have another one too. Originally, I was actually talking to Atari. I wanted to bring Nolan Bushnell and also the new CEO of Atari because they were celebrating Atari's 50th anniversary. The game just came out. The compilation just came out. So originally, I wanted to do that too. There was like a lot of cool ideas I had, man, and damn it, not gonna happen. But
No, they
It's
can
all good.
happen
I know,
somewhere,
but
someplace. It just won't have a G, a 4, an X, or a play attached to it.
That's
or
true.
probably any of those combinations.
That's true. That's true.
Because, yes.
I'll tell you another one. Ninja Turtles. Remember we revealed the console special edition.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of a kind console, right? So I was actually talking to Nickelodeon to see if Raekwon and Ghostface from Wu-Tang Clan, they're in the soundtrack of Ninja Turtles. I wanted them to come to the studio and do a live performance at the studio to promote Ninja Turtles. And because of the scheduling, we couldn't make that happen. That was something
I hate time. For such a construct to ruin something so
You know what it is? Like,
fabulous. I didn't know this.
This is why I love working with y'all. I always try to do something different that nobody else is doing. And I feel like doing events like that, having like the community just to come and try the game on like launch day or even before that and have the developers there and have the opportunity for them to actually just have like Q&As with the devs. And I want to do a lot of those stuff, man.
I mean, that's the stuff I love the most. I mean, those interviews with devs and just having that time to sit down. And because I love other people's creativity.
Same.
And just like learning about
Just
it.
picking their brains.
Yeah.
Tell me about this
and
God of War
it
Ragnarok
is a
Excel
shame
document.
because-
I need to see the Excel document, how they planned out the entire game.
It sounds so awful, but I know that's why the game is so good. Yes, I like Ragnarok. There, game opinion.
I did it.
But
You
yeah,
heard
I
it
mean,
here first.
that's what breaks my heart is that Danny had everything on track for that aspect of Xplay, which I love so much, to actually happen. So what I'm trying to say is, Danny, among these other 3 people, are eminently talented. So if you're like, we need something to bring the pep, please, they have the pep.
Danny is exceptionally talented and just incredible. At
I will now share a story that will make everyone not want my pep.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay, I'm ready.
it's the behind the scenes thing, which I think some of you appreciate it, but maybe not. The cesspool, none of you have visited. It's
No.
It's in a building in, well, it
Are you
was.
saying
I
we're
have no
about
idea
to?
what's in there right now.
Are we gonna go?
Or who's paying the rent.
No one. No one is paying the rent.
It's in a building in downtown San Francisco, which was actually like a building where a tech company that I started was in. It became very popular because there's so many startups and small businesses that they would take these rather large businesses and they would just turn them into rabbit warrens, very small offices. It was a very, very small office.
Yeah.
Surrounded by other very small offices.
Yeah.
And not with the thickest walls.
Oh no.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So there was like an accountant next to me. Maybe on the other side, I don't know, private social service, home
God.
care. I don't know. And then there was me. And especially like, say, when Jefferson wanted to produce something, because Jefferson was such an avid Xplay watcher, and he seemed to like the most demented aspects of the character I played. The like Shad Grimgravies, anything that involves screaming,
Yeah.
screaming profanity.
Yeah.
There was probably some dude on like the phone, like making stock trades. And then there's this, I now believe that. I have no, I can't even do Shad anymore. But yeah, those people, like, they probably notice I haven't shown up. They probably wonder if I'm in a gutter somewhere. That weirdo who would go into the
yell.
office quietly and then start screaming and then leave.
Oh my God.
I hope they just heard you say like over 100 dinosaur names, and they're like, "Is he okay?
What's he doing?
Like what?
What's he doing? Speaking of you yelling, I remember when we were recording, we were playing through Back for Blood.
Oh, yeah.
And there were legal hearings happening in the room
That's
next
right.
to you, and you're like, because we gave
My wife was actually at a hearing with the judge. This is during the COVID era, where you zoomed in with the judge and your client and opposing counsel. And
we'd given nicknames to the various enemies you fight in Back for Blood.
there was like Splody Man.
Splody.
And then that one that would,
The
I called him Mr. Handsies.
We called
it was
him
like a big hand that kind of, and so I guess the judge could hear from a room with the door closed, "Stop that, Mr. Hansy! Stop it! I don't want that!" And
At one point, I just remember Adam saying,
Yeah,
"Hey guys,
you know
I kind of got to be real quiet now. They can hear me next door." So
I you know what, to be honest, I don't think I chose to follow up and find out if if she won the case. But it was I am not a cat.
Yeah.
Oh,
I agree.
Take a second. There we go.
I should mention this. Do you remember the Halo Infinite review?
Oh God.
I'm not gonna lie, I was so frustrated because I'm like, I'm seeing tweets not only from you but also other journalists too that were like, "My God, like the timing of reviewing this game was only like what 3 or 4 days or
Yeah.
something like
3
that."
or 4 days. The game was
Yeah.
gargantuan.
Yes.
I
I
just
mean, we
started
put
working.
it off, but still, it was very
Yeah, but-
stressful.
I almost,
Almost
just,
broke
this
Adam.
is- I almost went to a hospital
Yeah.
because I was drinking so much coffee. And my heart rate like I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and my heart was going like this. And like the room kind of did a spin. And I'm like,
All because of Halo Infinite.
all because well, that's the thing that's just so. I think it's becoming more normal that massive games, people are just like, like the expectation is that people aren't supposed to finish them. And my brain does not operate on that. Like, I'm like, but what if it gets good? Yeah, I didn't
Well,
like it
that's
that much,
also-
that single player.
When we went out to review a game, someone had to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have to finish it to
can't
give it
get
an
a score.
accurate
I mean,
score.
I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot with confidence give it a score and say I recommend
Exactly.
this if I haven't seen it through to its like bitter end.
yeah, sometimes it can just like all of a sudden the ending can just be like,
Oh
oh.
yeah,
Because people will
Anyway.
people will ask like, why do you need a team to review a game?
Yeah.
And this is why. This is one of the reasons. Like,
Yeah.
just it was a lot of.
Yeah, but also trying to no, not the
But
trying like especially because this whole logic that games have to get harder the further you get into them. So like an hour 12 with I don't know how much coffee in your system, it's like, oh look, it's another room with 2 hunters in it, and it's the room size with a postage stamp. And like it's just the patience and strategy one needs to employ. It's just like shotgun in the back. Anyway, I got very bitter when I found out that there was another group of people who I think now looking back, what happened is they got to play the game, and then they got to incorporate at an earlier time, and then that save got imported.
Yeah.
But they were able to handle those 4 days, unlike the schmucks like me. Who
I had worked with you for like a week at this point, and I was like, man, Sessler really hates Halo. Because you had like a fractured mind about it because it was so much.
Yeah. Well, it's also, here's the thing. Hey, free advice to game companies. I used to do this when I was a consultant, but I'll throw this one out there for free. Especially with shooters, if you make someone play a shooter for 12 hours straight for 4 days straight, the sameness that is inherent to all shooters becomes so goddamn apparent. It's like, wow, I just shot these enemies 2 hours ago. Like, there's only so many ways you can vary it up. But if you're making a game for someone to play over, I don't know, a 2-3 week period, you're not going to notice those redundancies. It becomes so painfully obvious once you're like, suddenly doing it, if you're playing it in that manner. And well, that was the manner in which I played the game, and I didn't enjoy myself.
Yeah, but my goal was to get multiple codes, really, really early from everyone, man. And
Yes, you
I feel like,
You
I mean,
did.
that was different.
You
Yeah.
did the best
You did
you
great job.
could.
That was
fantastic.
different because that was not us, but every single game that we reviewed, we got that really early, multiple codes, and I feel like we made it happen, for Xplay.
Oh no, we got that thing out the door.
Yeah.
Speaking of story,
Don't
It
mess
was
with me.
birthed.
Hello.
Like, for example, you were the ones who were like, please, we need to get multiple codes for Stray.
Yes.
I made it happen. You mentioned that like months in advance.
I
like Stray.
you
met
called
you.
Ray.
I met you. I found out what your job was, and I was like, have you heard about this game that's coming out? It is called Stray. It looks really good. And then you had forgotten because like we had just met, and I said this to you. A month or two went by, and you had brought up Stray coming up on a game coming out, and I went, Danny, you said I could get the code, and you're like, I don't remember. I was like, how do you not remember? This is the only game I want to play.
Look, a lot of people don't know this, but there
then
were
she took out a
situations
knife.
where I will get a code because of my podcast, Gamer Tech Radio, for those who know. And
Gamer Tech Radio.
but,
You don't have to be quiet.
but so I'll get a code for that, and then we only have one code for Xplay, and I'm like, you know what? I got to do this for the team, and I will give my code to you guys so we can do the
so
work.
kind.
I did that
Danny.
multiple times,
you did.
man.
So
Multiple
nice.
times, man.
So speaking
Yeah.
of Gabrielle,
Oh.
Gabrielle, what are some stories you want to tell? You want to talk about cake? I mean, which cake?
There's a lot of cake.
There was a lot of
cake.
cakes with Xplay.
We had a lot of cake. We coined table cake.
Table cake.
But
Do you want to tell the story behind table cake?
So
We've
table
never
cake,
We've
told
never
that
told
story,
the
right?
story.
A lot of people
we'll
don't
do
know
it right
about
now.
this. Yeah.
So I don't know why, but we had a lot of bits with cake, and we continued to after this story.
Because nothing's more fun to
Than
put into
having
your
to buy
budget than food in a sketch.
Well,
true.
we were also backed by Big Flour. I mean, I think it's time that we
big
just come
flour.
clean.
King
Yeah.
Arthur's coming for us.
Yeah, gold medal was quietly, those last 2 months.
So there is a cake scene in God of Work in which Kratos, it's his birthday. He goes and picks up 2 cakes, one for himself, one for Dave. We ended up having 4 cakes because we have to eat the cake, we have to cut the cake. There are a bunch of scenes with the cake. We have an axe that cuts into the cake. A lot of cake. 4 cakes. Not a lot of room in the break room fridges. So one of the cakes ends up sitting on a table. And Jake, how long did it sit there, do you think?
2 weeks.
You think 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
It was
was 2
about
weeks.
2
It was
weeks.
2 weeks.
It was 2 weeks.
The problem is that it doesn't say to refrigerate the cake. And it basically gave no in time for when you're supposed to eat this by. So it's just like forever cake.
Yeah, forever cake.
And Jake decides one day to start eating table cake. And it became like a rule where people were saying, please don't eat the table cake. Josie had a sign that said, please don't eat the table cake.
It was Cassim, because he had made candles at the Renaissance Fair. He took a slice of the cake and was gonna put the candles in the cake and ate the cake on vibe check. And I thought they were on a break. So I knock on the door and I open it and I'm like, for your own safety, did you get that cake from the table or the fridge? And then I didn't know they were alive. And then Kevin Pereira just stares at me and goes, come say that on a mic right now. Say that verbatim. And I'm staring Vanessa in the eyes like, what have I done? I'm so sorry. But yeah, don't eat a table cake. So that's where table cake came
That's the first
This
cake.
is almost like a recreation of one of the greatest All in the Family episodes ever made, and that's kind of
The
magical.
cake was perfectly fine. It was fine.
I just want to
It
go
was
back
so
to one.
preserved. It could be in a museum today. And
But I wouldn't eat it.
I
wouldn't
proving
eat it.
a point.
I mean,
So
you are still
can I
saying
just do the tail end of the cake story real quick?
More cake, yeah.
The final day of shooting, period, at G4's studio
Yes.
was this Ghostbusters big special. It was huge. It was like a 2-hour special that unfortunately you won't get to see. But in it, we had Mr. Michael Leffler falling into a cake, like fully face smash into
in a
cake.
suit.
In a
wearing a
suit.
suit.
He wrote that. He chose his destiny. So it's the last thing we're doing because obviously with cake takes, we only had 2 cakes. He had 1 suit. It was very intense. Like, how are we going to do this? As soon as we did the take where he slams into the cake on the table, because it's table cake, and it has Cassim's face on it. That's also important. But he rolled onto the ground, and Josie Bellerby, who's the production designer, and I were like, he needs more cake. And there's something that happened in the minds of everyone on that set that was like, oh yeah, let's add cake. And it felt like everyone was just like throwing cake onto Leffler on the ground. And we're like, you can't move because continuity. Just shoving cake and more frosting and like half the cake ended up on top of him.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that was, then we left a whole cake for Jake in the fridge and he didn't have to eat
was
Jake's
it?
cake.
I want to go back to one thing you said, Gabrielle. You said that no one said that you needed to refrigerate the cake.
It didn't say it on the box.
It didn't.
But doesn't it? It's cake.
It is cake.
You would think.
I mean, there's some dairy involved.
There's egg involved.
It needs to go in a.
I agree.
It'll
I
get
am
moldy
not pro
eventually.
table cake.
Yeah.
We are
Jake
pro, we
is.
are
No.
pro fridge cake. We are
pro fridge
anti-table cake.
We hate fridge cake. Jake is pro table cake.
Hey, where are we raising money for Rad?
Oh, yeah.
Slapping him?
Yeah, did we make it
How
to
funny you
1,000?
should
Can I
ask.
slap
Let's do a little
you?
rad check-in. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, yeah.
We are at 1,000, not $491. Thank you all
Ladies and
so
gentlemen.
much. Special shout out to our top donors, Exodon for Xplay is Rad and Cess the Slappy.
Who is that, Seth the Slappy? Did he leave a message?
Oh, did he leave a message? Let's see. I want to read the
That
message.
just sounds so familiar, Seth the Slappy.
How funny. Slap the Alabama man, please.
Oh.
So, it does look
Alabama
like Jake,
man.
it is once again time
Get over here.
for another slap.
All right. Jake,
won't hit you that hard.
It got to be somebody different.
Please.
It can't be the same. We also have an audience here.
Here, you can sit right here, Jake.
And we're
I'll do
so
it.
funny, Jake. We're only $9 away from a second slap. How funny. What if
is
all of a
so
sudden
wild.
$9
Wait,
came in?
can I have a request? Can I have a request?
Okay.
All right. This is the final goodbye, and I feel like Adam
Has to slap him?
should slap you.
I mean,
That's true. The next
All right,
one.
The next slap.
one, the next
You
one.
got
Go
the next
on,
slap.
right,
You got to
next
claim
one.
on the next slap. All right.
Which one?
This is like the Bachelor.
Look, we have Gerard.
Who
Gerard's over
has
there.
the honor of receiving the slap rose?
no, I
It
don't.
got to be a good one.
Gerard's got some paws, and I don't.
Yeah. So,
All right, let's.
Who's it gonna be?
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Gabrielle.
G-Money.
Gabrielle.
Took the ring off.
All right. G Money. All right, here goes.
We're gonna hold the mic.
Oh, sure.
Grab the mic.
I'll grab a mic. I'll be your mic. Yeah.
This is going to be fun.
Wait.
Wait.
What hand Right hand.
It's gonna be nice. I'm not mean.
Hit him hard because apparently I didn't do it hard enough.
Uh-oh, she's getting prepared. This is going to be...
See? Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to count down or just go?
Just.
Oh!
That sounded pretty loud.
A nice healthy slap.
It was a stingy one, but it wasn't hard, I don't think.
Thank you for the slap.
One smarts.
Jake, sit down.
Thank you.
How do you feel,
Thank you,
Jake?
G-Money.
How do you feel?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Spin us a tail, Jake.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Look at this. His face is red.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Oh. Thank you all.
Are you okay?
Today we're raising money for RAD, Rise Above the Disorder, whose mission is to make mental health care accessible for everyone, everywhere. RAD has raised millions through the gaming community over the years to fund healthcare and has spent $10 million on mental health care. So if you'd like to join us in giving back and give Jake a little slappy slap, feel free to click on and type in !donate in the chat. That will send you to the link to donate to our page. And special shout out to everyone who's donated so far. Thank you for helping all of us give back. We really, really appreciate it.
And thank you to my beautiful wife for making this happen.
Yeah!
Rihanna Pena.
What do you want?
How much were we at?
God bless America! You gotta stop doing that, man! He must know. That's like, I love it. It's like that one symphony where it suddenly blows a horn randomly in it. You all know the one. I'm sure you heard it in elementary school music class.
Yeah.
Jake, spin us a tale. I think you wanted to tell a story about how a sketch got made.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so there, it was always interesting seeing how ideas would come about at Xplay and then how they would evolve. And I think one of my favorite moments was when we were shooting God of Work, and we got a Slack message from Golden Boy who said, hey, there's this new game coming out called Dreamlight Valley. And is there something that we could do with that? And we just kind of started riffing on jokes, specifically about how maybe Mater would be a very inappropriate character if we just made him...
Yeah.
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 So
We all know. We all know.
just very inappropriate is all.
And
is all I'll say.
charged.
Yeah, charged.
Opinionated.
Very opinionated.
And
yes.
just
I
like
think-
how living with cars in that Disney World would even work.
Yeah, exactly. And it was fun with us just we started riffing behind the camera of, oh, what's some crazy shit we could have Mater say? And then it was like, oh, well, let's write all of this down. And that became really everyone's conduit to say something stupid or inappropriate, which was actually a lot of fun. And it was fun making the Mater hat. It was like becoming a whole different person, you know, like you put on the hat and you could say whatever you want.
What was some of your favorite lines?
Let's Go Buick was probably one of my
Let's Go
favorites
Buick.
that he said. No Smoke, Go Broke was another one of my favorites.
Electric cars are taking our jobs.
Electric cars are taking our jobs.
Like Hondas and Chevys can't be in the same garage.
Yes, Chevys and Hondas can't be in the same garage. That was another one that I really enjoyed. Yeah, see, people in the chat are getting it. They're getting it.
They're getting it.
But yeah, I got to really lean on my background of someone from I was going to say great state, from Alabama, and
From Alabama.
but that was always fun to do, is to come up with the characters and just do the funny, like just ridiculous sketches. But yeah, Mater was one of my favorites to do. It always made GB crack every time.
Dr. Kenny Bitsko is my favorite one of your
I
characters.
like Dr.
I like
Kenny
Mato,
Bitsko,
but
Mater was fun.
I liked Reggie Bedell.
Reggie Bedell.
Oh, I love
Reggie
it.
Yeah. So it was always fun doing all of these different characters. That's what I enjoy. I was like, I want to make Xplay like a weird SNL where I can do all these stupid characters, and that was always fun coming up with those. But yeah, it was just fun. Like when we were all just kind of sitting back there riffing on it, and we were like, yeah, wait, let's write this down and make this. That was because it was. I know I think the three of us were
no,
back, or the four
Zipper.
of us.
Zipper, yeah.
And
And
Zipper.
Zipper. Yeah, I ran down during filming to Leffler and I was like, hey, here we go.
We
have
have
this
a
really
weird
good idea.
It's brilliant.
He was
Yeah.
like, okay.
And go. I would encourage you to go. I think you can just search on YouTube Dreamlight Valley Xplay, and it's the first thing that comes
Yeah,
up.
it was
Right.
so funny.
That was fun to do, and it was fun, especially doing it when Adam came back to the studio having absolutely no reference for what the hell.
Oh yeah, and then you just came on during the.
Yeah, right in the middle of speed run, I think
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't remember what I said there, but I know that Joe Gerardo wrote the lines for me, and I was like, "All right, Joe,
This
if
is it."
I'll say these, that's
Yeah.
fine." But yeah, I loved doing all the ridiculous character stuff, and yeah, that was a blast.
Well, speaking of Joe, like I said earlier, sadly he cannot be here, but he did record a little message for us and for y'all. So let's take a gander at a sweet.
What's up, Xplay fans and KindaFunny fans as well? I'm sure there's quite a bit of overlap there. Sorry I couldn't be there. Your boy's on that G-Baby energy today, but instead of catching strays, I caught COVID. I'm feeling perfectly fine, just still testing positive. What can you do? Just thank you to everyone who watched Xplay. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun making it. Loved working with everyone who's in the room right now, talking crap with Jake, talking crap with Corey, talking hip-hop with Danny, listening to Emily talk about Bethesda games, listening to Gabrielle talk about how she's wrong about The Last of Us Part 2, but I respect her opinion. Still sad we never got to see Megan's Sims video. It was just a pleasure working with all of you. Lef, Corey, Gerard, Frosk, all you folks. So, thanks for watching. I'm excited to see what we all do in the future. And yeah.
Oh, yay.
Yay,
Shout out to
Joe.
Joe,
We miss
man.
you, Joe.
I miss
Yeah.
you, Joe.
Amazing,
Yeah,
amazing.
it's a shame that Joe can't be here. It's I don't know. I get it though. Fear makes us all do crazy things, and when you're afraid of being in the presence of God.
my God.
I mean, I understand. I understand not wanting to be here, and like I said, not many people can stand being in the presence of God, and Joe's one of those.
Oh!
That's right. I was expecting it this time. I was expecting it this time, you son of a bitch.
So tell us a little bit about the beautiful thing you have on your shoulder right there.
We were doing wars at G4, and it started out with Corey and Joe battling each other, and those were always fun. But then we decided, let's expand this out to other people. Joe was talking a little shit, so I had to put him in his place. So we played a little NBA 2K, and I beat him in that. That's it. That'll work.
There you go.
I am your
But we actually,
cousin.
but we had a like a paper belt that we had made at one
These little
point.
cardboard belt.
And I went online and I was like, I wonder if I could design a belt and if it wouldn't be like that crazy or expensive to do. And I found this and it wasn't. And I just went into Leffler's office with my computer and was like, and just set it down in front of him and was like, I mean, this could be what we fight for on Wars of G4. And he was like, yeah, get it. So we got it. And it came in the Friday.
The Friday
It came in
right
earlier
before the
than
shutdown.
expected.
Came in earlier than expected.
Yeah.
And it came in the Friday, what turned out to be our last Friday.
Before the infamous tweet.
So now I am for sure the undisputed Xplay
Yeah,
champion.
obviously, I
did it.
wasn't there for that Friday, but it sounds like that was such a jam-packed
Yeah.
Friday.
12-hour day.
I mean, did anyone?
No.
No. I'm not saying did anyone know?
No.
But I would have to assume that someone's like, wow, everything seems to be falling into place.
Yeah.
Our belt came early. The Ghostbusters were fun. Man, we're on a positive trajectory.
We even
Like something ironic happened there.
A lot of people don't know this. We even had Phonic at the studio. We did an interview with them also that day about Ghostbusters. I'm like, man, I can't wait
Shot
for
a
this
lot.
to go.
I remember I recorded some VO for the teasers in the booth, and I was like, all right, see y'all Monday. I'm gonna go pick up my stuff. Or wait, no, I was out because I was at a funeral. So I would be like, see y'all Tuesday.
That week, we also had Texas Chainsaw Massacre interview that were recorded, and we played the game and everything, I think. I can't remember.
I think it's deeply ironic that Ilphonic and Gunn, two teams I worked with when they were both kind of joined forces on the Friday the 13th game. Once again, irony. That's all I got.
No, we had a video of the gameplay, sorry. And also had Telemundo that week also. Was it on Friday? I think it was also Friday. While you guys were filming, I was also doing my
you were
thing
in your
on the
nice
side.
suit.
Yeah, all that whole week was crazy. Yeah.
Speaking of crazy, Megan.
Megan, go.
I think you've got some wild stories for us.
Oh yeah. Yes. So I think everyone knows we went through multiple iterations of what our set looked like, where we were streaming, what that streaming setup looked like. So when we first started, we had our beautiful set. It was a white brick wall. It was like a beautiful Starbucks. And we had a couch and some chairs. And then we got a direction from above to kind of to change it up a little bit, make it more like a podcasty feel. So we decided to pivot, get a custom table made, and we wanted to make some different changes to the set, but a lot of it was pretty minimal, just to like budgetary restrictions and trying to be realistic with the resources that we had. But because the audience knew we were getting a new set, the theory started spiraling, and I would see in the Discord, like, can't wait to see this new set. I bet it's gonna be awesome. And we are sweating because we're like, oh, we're gonna paint a wall, I guess brick color. Gabrielle and I were deciding, like, we're having Jake help us Photoshop, like, what color we wanted to paint the bricks. And we're like, let's do like a TV tower. That sounds cool. And we ended up, for many reasons I won't get into, doing a lot of it ourselves, the creative team. So we're panicking. We get it all set, and we're like, how do we explain this so that people don't kill us? And we're brainstorming kind of our revamp, and we're our social media person at the time, Guillermo, who's great, threw out a joke like, it's Xplay remastered, and Left Layer and I were like, that's it. It's Xplay remastered.
And this was right around the time that
The Last of Us.
Not Left 4
The
Dead.
Last of Us,
that
yeah.
The Last of Us was being
yeah.
remastered, and people thought it was there was anger in the gaming community.
Yeah.
Funny that.
Yeah.
What?
Funny how that works.
Never.
So we took that and we decided to run with it and kind of like take the piss out of it so no one could. And we riffed, like, I think a bunch of us got in a room and we made a bunch of jokes about how it was basically the same just with a new skin. And then we released that cold open and it went over well. And actually people were like, I really like the new set. It looks really, they did so much.
We made Table a character.
Yeah, everyone's asking. Justice for Table. We hope that Table has gone up to a farm upstate with other tables.
Probably, yeah.
Can I say something? Shout out to Gina Darling. She's watching right now.
Gina.
Yeah. Shout out to Gina. Yeah.
Watching.
I was going to say,
The famous table
if you ever get a
defacer, Gina
splinter,
Darling.
it could be
That's true.
Could be
vestiges
Table.
of
Could be.
Table.
Yeah.
You know, it will live on. Or decompose, I guess, because actually, was it real wood or was it that kind of new wood
It
that's
was
not
real
wood?
wood.
It was real
They had
wood.
like vinyl around the sides, but
You know
the
how
top
hard it
was
is to get new wood?
Don't guess the price.
It's a game everybody loses.
Let's not get into it.
Very quickly, I know there's people been asking this question multiple times. I've seen it during the stream. Gex.
Yes.
Gex
Gex
been
Is there an
still
adopted.
update about
alive.
Gex?
Gex.
A lot of
Yeah,
people- a lot of
Gex
people
was
wanna-
properly adopted,
Yay.
and Gex has a home. So
Yeah.
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 Gex was
is
not
fine.
left
Very
at the
loving.
studio.
Unlike others. It was about to get really dark there, but I'm glad that Gex has a home and can lead a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Unlike
Also, that was one of the fun things about the belt is that we put
We put
Gex
Gex
in
on
there.
we
it.
put Gex on the side plates.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome.
And we helped create Kasonic.
Yeah, that was an early beach house stream. One of our first beach house streams. We were doing like a crazy obstacle course, and it was Vin Diesel. Amelie dressed as Vin Diesel with the Fast and Furious
whatever
car.
Fast came out, Fast 9.
Yeah,
10?
and I think it was because something Sonic related was coming out. So I don't remember where the idea came up from.
Movie.
But
I think
Maybe
it was
the
no. I
movie.
think it was
The movie
the. I think it was the
announcement, or-
Sonic anniversary.
That's right. It was the
And this
anniversary
was
of that
right on the
video.
heels of a fairly caustic Sonic video
Yes.
that used my voice and kind of my opinions.
yeah.
That happened to go up, at least I didn't know, on that anniversary. And I think it was actually more coincidence than intention, though no one had any reason to read it that way. And yeah, because I remember that, like, that was, I think time 1052 that the internet decided to hate me a lot. And I come in and Cassim is dressed as Sonic. And I'm like, what are you doing to me today?
There's
What are you doing?
B-Mop, shout out to B-Mop. B-Mop made this fantastic
Yes.
edit where
Yeah.
it shows your face. Watch it, just a zoom in on your face in one shot where you're looking at Cassim and you're just like shaking your head, and it just is so good.
And we will also, there was actually thankfulness inside of me because I used to be that. I used to be Cassim.
That was you.
Where it's like, we got to do something stupid that requires someone sitting in makeup forever.
We got to put you in a sweater vest.
Yeah,
Adam.
that did
And then
happen.
finally, it was just like, oh, we'll go to Cassim. And I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm too old and senior now.
We
to
were
have to
also
do that.
so mean because we thought Kasonic was so funny that we kept doing it. And we were actually gonna kill Kasonic.
We were going to kill
We
him.
were gonna kill Kasonic. We were gonna ask Will Neff to be Will Neffgulls, and we were gonna have Kasonic beg Will Neffgulls to kill him, and he was gonna punch him to death. Real thing that was gonna
That
happen.
was real. Xplay behind the scenes. You heard it
I
here.
mean, it is Knuckles, so I get it, but like, just a straight.
Death.
That?
See, now that sounds like X-Play. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
We
had
kill your
some-
darlings.
I
We
got
had some
chanked so
great
many
ideas.
times in the old days.
Anything
love
else?
death. Gerard, do you have some stories?
Yes.
Come on.
Come hit it.
Yeah. Let's read that.
Shout out to everybody who's watching live
Yeah,
and
thank
donating.
you guys.
Speaking of stab,
Hold on.
I do want to give a shout out to speaking of a table and speaking of people getting injured. Shout out to our funeral segment on an Xplay live stream where we had an inflatable coffin on a collapsible table, and Corey, the Black Akage, went 110% in the sketch and threw himself on the table in mourning, and the left half of the table collapsed on the ground, and he falls down with it. And we all just start laughing, and we're like, oh, and I'm there, and I'm like, I gotta continue this bit. And
You jumped. I saw you jump into you guys.
yeah, I mean, it's a loud noise, and a man just fell.
You got scared. Yeah.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Before I tell a few stories, it's time for Jake to get slapped once again.
Oh!
And he must be slapped by
Wait, how
one
much-
Adam
We
Sessler.
have
right,
hit
Jake.
$1,595. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Jake is
1,500.
nervous. He's
Where are you
walking
going?
around.
Where are you
stressed
going?
out.
What are you looking
What are you
for?
doing?
He's panicking a little bit.
Well, this is the Sess slap.
Yeah.
This is.
Oh, this is Cess. Oh,
Man, I haven't done this to someone else in quite some time.
oh man.
Oh,
Oh.
I should get out of the way.
oh
You need my mic? You need my mic?
Right there.
You need my mic? Where you want to go?
Everybody's right-handed.
Where you want to go?
for $15.95.
Almost to our goal.
Someone
Almost
said,
there.
leave a handprint, Adam.
Oh,
All right.
Adam Slappler, here we go. Oh, God.
oh, jeez, Lord.
Yeah, protect your back.
Oh, God.
Boo.
That's just my natural musk.
Does anybody? I can't.
You can't.
I'll do it.
Emily,
Go.
Emily,
Slap.
Emily, let
Emily's
Emily do
turn.
it.
What about
Slap him.
Emily? Okay, that would be good.
Go for it, Emily.
All right.
Come here.
Adam.
Get over here, Jake.
All right, here goes. Wait, come closer.
Wait,
Come closer.
come over
Middle.
here,
Middle.
Close to the middle.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Right.
All right, there you go.
Right.
All right.
I'll hold.
All right, there you
We're
go.
getting the close.
There you go.
I gotta go.
Do it for Ghostbusters, Emily. Ghostbusters.
That doesn't make me want to hit people.
Just remember the special times.
Remember stage combat in high school.
Don't remember that. 'cause we
Okay.
want this to-
All right.
This is for charity, Jake. Our friendship will live on through this.
Okay.
And I appreciate everything you did, and I appreciate. Thank you for.
Just slap me in the face, you bitch!
Go for it. Send him home, Emily. Send him packing, Emily.
Now it's on.
Send him.
I don't want to hit this.
Yeah.
That one sent him. That one sent him.
That was good.
That was the worst one.
Wow, Emily's the worst slapper.
It's all love. It's all love. Hey, for charity. All for charity.
For charity.
Hey, everybody's happy in the chat. They said this is a pretty good slap.
It was a good slap.
Pretty good slap.
It was a good slap.
Are we at?
Did
wait,
we
wait.
cross the threshold?
How much are we at?
Yeah.
$2,000.
We're less
Hey.
than $400 away.
Yeah.
Less than
Less than
$400.
$400
We can
away.
do
Let's do it.
this.
Come on,
We
let's
can
do
do
it.
this.
If we hit $2,000, I'll let all 3 of them slap me again.
Oh no!
At the same time.
Yes.
And Paul Sessler hugs you from behind.
All right. Oh, I have to say this before you go.
Yeah, go
your
for it.
story. I remember we were at the live stream and we were playing Kirby.
Suck the duck.
Suck the duck came up. I was so curious. I'm like, can you suck the duck? And Corey looked at me like, whoa. It's like, I'm like, no, I'm serious. Like, I want to know if Kirby could suck the duck.
Yeah.
And
It
you
was
said
a
no. You
genuine
answered my
question, and that's. I mean,
and it went
that's,
viral. I forgot about that.
That's
Yeah,
comedy.
suck that duck.
Suck the duck.
It went
Yeah.
very
Well, wait,
viral.
hold on. I played the game and I can't remember if I could suck
There
the
were
duck.
like, you know how you did to save like the little ducklings in some levels?
Oh,
We were wondering if you could like suck up the ducks.
Yeah.
Could you?
No.
No, you can't.
No, you. But
Limited
But
game.
chat definitely remind us to suck that duck whenever we could.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It was a big thing. All right, go ahead. Your story.
Oh,
Yeah, no, go ahead
Real
and
quick,
go.
people may be asking, why are we paying to slap the man? What is this money going towards? Well, it is going to Rise Above the Disorder, whose mission is to make mental health care accessible to everyone, everywhere. So we at Xplay giving back is really, really important to us, and thank you for helping us do that. And you can learn more by going to our Tiltify page by using the !donate command in the Twitch chat. And yeah, have some information there. And there's our stream. And look
We're
at that
almost
beautiful
there.
goal.
Almost there,
We're so
guys.
close.
Us watching us.
Yes.
It never ends.
Live reaction.
All right, Gerard, spin us a tale.
Oh man, what I'm trying to think of a specific story. I'll say one thing I loved about doing the linear version of Xplay, which a lot of folks never got to really see, because on the YouTube side you only saw the VODs.
Yeah,
and
you
on
saw the segment,
Yeah.
not the stuff that happened around it.
Yeah, and on Twitch you saw the live shows, but we shot over 115 episodes of Xplay for linear, and it was always Corey Frost and myself. But there was always the disconnected thing that I loved the most about shooting those is that Leffler always wrote them at 4 a.m.
Yep.
And everything was misspelled. None of the jokes had any context. And more importantly, Frost and Corey always were like, what does this mean? They never understood the jokes that he was writing. And I always understood them because I talked to Leffler way too much. We would talk all the time. And my goal was, even if I didn't understand the joke, that I would do the biggest thing possible to make the editors in the room laugh. And we never talked to the editors. We had no idea. We never knew if anything we did was ever funny. And I just remember that towards the final days of Xplay, I finally met one of the linear editors, and he had told me, or they told me, yo, like, those videos, those segments were so stupid funny, and it just that like made all of it worth it. Especially because when we did those things, we did them in bulk. We shot anywhere from 4 to 8 episodes of linear Xplay interstitials for a long period of time. And they were always so fun and chaotic to do. It was like one of my favorite things I looked forward to every week at the studio.
You just reminded me. I'll throw out just a tiny little behind the scenes tidbit. Trivia.
Yeah. It's always good.
You may have noticed that I like to sport a dark blue sweater.
Yeah.
And only a dark blue sweater.
It is weird seeing you not wearing
Yeah.
it.
know.
Yeah,
Very
I
nice.
actually,
Who is
I
Johnny?
actually wonder, like, how, like, if you would recognize me.
Yeah.
Honestly, because this is San Francisco, and bald white men are Aplenty. So everyone probably wondered why or if it was the same sweater. I can happily say there were 8 of those sweaters.
8 sweaters.
3 in LA, 5 up here in San Francisco. And the reason for it was that early on, we were shooting some of something, but not all of it. And then making me like, okay, hold on to that shirt. And then I kind of reached this point where like I had no clothes that I could wash because they were in some kind of strange limbo where I might need to pull it out because we had to fix something. And I was like, I'm just going to kind of do a Jeff Goldblum in The Fly referencing Einstein and just wear the same damn thing all the time. Because one thing that I can happily say, since the ugly shirts of the beginning era of Xplay, no one comments or pays attention to what I'm wearing, if they're even paying attention to me. And then I was like, I'm just going to wear this one sweater all the time. And it was.
It's a great color.
It looks great.
And
Jewel
I'll never
tones.
forget that right before we introduced Table and like kind of brought back the live stream, I just happened to see some comment somewhere. It probably was on the either the Discord or it was in Twitch. Where it's like, what if Adam's going to wear that same damn sweater again? and then I realized that like that you were paying attention.
No.
But I want to let you know it
So
was
nice.
it actually got washed occasionally.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. The last story I had wasn't really one of my favorite live streams we ever did because, in my opinion and from my perspective, in the moment, it was such a shit show. But looking back, I loved it. Was the Oregon Trail musical thing that we did.
Oh my God, I forgot
That
about
shit was so funny because
I learned a lot of lessons that day.
Yeah, I mean-
you can't put 9 improvisers on mics on TV
I would-
and
I would-
expect every sound thing to work.
I would also argue that not everyone was an improviser. So it was like kind of like watching people talk for the first time, and it was so funny. But I had so many moments with Kasim that he broke me every single time. And in looking in that, I watched it recently, and the thing I had to look at is everyone was like a very strong, distinct character. And the only thing I could do was to just be a boring version of myself. That was like all I had to do. And I was the only one that technically survived because my character was an actor.
Yeah,
that,
you had you
that
pursued a
moved
musical
on.
career that
Yes.
left, and you
So
left the
good.
wagon.
And I left the wagon, yeah. And I remember, oh gosh, what was her name?
Kelly.
Kelly was like, and now it's a musical, and
Yeah.
just like started
Why
clapping.
don't you sing? Did the improv thing of why don't teeing up someone like why don't you sing us a song to tell us
Yeah.
about your dreams?
And immediately I was like, all right, I'm singing. And I just went into it. And afterwards, she gave me a look of like, I didn't know you could do that. And I was like, neither did I. Bye, everyone. Like, it was just so fun. In that moment, it was so scary because everything was falling apart. And that was the chaos of what I loved most about Xplay is that it always felt like it was falling apart, but in our way that we loved that it fell apart. We were able to like find this kinetic energy, problem solving in real time in a way that was just so genuine and so fun.
Yeah, and shout out to Gabrielle, who's next to me during the Oregon Trail stream, being like, they should vote on whether he signs the contract or not. Like, great idea.
Yes.
So, like, a lot of those were my favorite moments.
Y'all were doing
of the
so
duel.
great.
Like, was Gabrielle being like, they should vote on
That
who wins
was
the duel. I'm like, you're right.
that
they
show was
should.
raised by a village, and that was the thing I had created in Los Angeles. It was a the Oregon Trail Improvise, where it was a live action improv show in LA, and so I was like, oh, how can we translate that from like a live black box to Twitch? And we did it. Boy, howdy, we did it. And it was just so much fun. That's what I appreciated the most about Xplay was just like being able to come in and be like, can I do this wild thing? Can I talk about this really bad Brotherhood of Steel game? I want to talk about all the Nancy Drew games. Can we play Oregon Trail live with people? And how we would figure those out, because it was such a yes and team, which I loved and appreciated so dearly.
And philosophically, I also believe that, and it is kind of the best part about live TV especially, is that you're going to screw some up.
Yeah.
And then you just try harder the next day.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, the internet will crawl up your butt for about 72 hours if it's really bad. And then they move on to someone else's butt.
The best part about that Oregon Trail musical is after 2 hours of getting through it, the last second is like Emily saying, bye, everyone. And then like there's a beat and she goes, we fucking did it, y'all. like really loud, and the mic got it.
Cute.
It was the best. It warmed my heart.
My parents watch me on Twitch, and so I try really hard not to curse too loud. But thank you all so much for sharing these wonderful, wonderful stories. We're now going to do a fun thing. We're going to talk about some God of Work. You mentioned it earlier. We're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to show a special clip. So if I could have Gabrielle and Jake come up here. Danny, do you mind stepping out for a hot sec? So we're just going to talk some God of Work.
Sure.
Thanks.
No. A couple people asked. No, this is my laptop.
It's your laptop.
This is my laptop. Nobody's taking my laptop. I bought this with my own money.
I bought this with my money.
Also, for those wondering, Frosk is whale watching.
Yeah, she is. She's having a nice time.
She's having a lovely time.
So we just talked about projects. Let's talk about God of Work. God of Work was Xplay and G4's original comedy series, co-created by Gerard the Completionist and myself, and directed by the wonderful Gabrielle Thomas. The series focuses on Kratos as he works at a temp agency in order to pass the time until Ragnarok releases him. And now that God of War Ragnarok has finally come out, I thought it'd be fun to take a look at a moment between Kratos and his son Atreus. So let's take a little gander at a little clipsy here.
What's in the box?
How many times have I told you that Medusa's head is not a toy?
Oh, my dad, it's not that big of a deal. I know what I'm doing.
You know nothing! I swear if I catch you doing this one more time, I will...
Add me to your permanent little body paint?
Whoa, okay. Why don't we just calm down?
How dare you jest about your family?
My family, give me a break. I see them about as much as I see you. You're more of a ghost to me than they are.
Hey, maybe...
Shut up! Do you see me now? Boy.
You can't say that anymore!
I can say whatever the hell I want to, you ungrateful little shit!
All right, whoa, that's enough. Okay, hey, look. I'm tired of all this shit. Okay? The disrespect. You're a bad father. Can't you see that he just wants to be a part of your life? But you're not gonna let him? He made a mistake. He's afraid to admit it. Big deal. And you should know better. But maybe you can't help it. Maybe you're just not that good in the first place.
Choose your next words carefully if you want to keep your sharp tongue. Let me tell you something, Christopher of Nothing. You are not the main character. You are an NPC, and you will not speak to my boy like that ever again.
Well, I mean, you're actually a good father and talk to your son.
Don't do that. Don't get in the middle of shit. Chris does that. Look how it turned out for him.
Me? What about you? You're the adult here and you don't know what to do with us or your life.
Hey, what is that supposed to mean?
Game Genie wasn't a shot at extra income, was it? It was a way out. I mean,
Son. Trey. Enough of these ridiculous emotions!
Fall Out Boy, Fall Out Boy.
Do you want to go play a prank on David from Human Resources?
Hell yeah, I do. Where are we gonna find troll testicles, though?
Oh, we'll find them, my boy. We'll find them.
Oh my God, who took this shit off my desk? Oh, it's like the world serpent.
Yay!
We did it.
God of Work. So yeah, for those, some of us have been playing God of Work.
God of
God
War.
of War, God of War.
I do it all
God
the
of
time.
War, God of Work. We do it all the time.
Some of us have been playing God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And God of Work.
And God of Work.
In life.
Yes.
How have you noticed anything while you've been playing, or like how does it feel to play this game after, like, because this was the climactic point of our series. It was like Ragnarok, and it's here. Merry Ragnarok, everyone.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not that far into the game. I don't want to spoil it where I am, but it's too early to tell. But I think it's definitely. I
guess you have a new perspective when you're watching the game, kind of like having
absolutely.
played Kratos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, when you're playing, the biggest thing about
Kratos,
when the thing that's crazy is that we tried our best to make that specific episode about the relationship between Atreus and Kratos, and the thing that Jake I think nailed out of the park is that this was the one scene that was like, hey, we are acting. Like, we're playing character stops and the realness begins, and that tear that you have in your eye is 100% real.
Yeah.
Jake did that
really
in real
impressive.
time, and it made me get teary too.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
I don't think people know this. This was a multi-cam shoot, which means this entire part is blocked out. And we're shooting the whole scene. I did the blocking. Megan had to direct. I'm in the scene. Like, Megan's directing.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of pieces moving. It's like 2 cameras. They're moving consistently, and they're trying to get exactly where they're supposed to be and focus and all of that. And then Jake is fully crying. And I just like walk around the corner. Megan's standing there, and I'm like, what the? And then you're about to cry. And I'm like, this is the best case scenario. This is like a 4-hour. This is our biggest scene we shot. It was very intense. So much makeup on every single person in that scene.
Yeah.
And you guys crush it. And I remember being like, I didn't expect crying, and I'm happy it happened because it's so funny. And every time I see it, I'm like, that motherfucking.
It's so real.
I also love that you, when you're shaking it off, you started saying like "Fall Out Boy," "Fall Out Boy."
Yeah, I just
and like
wanted
you
to
had
say
other
emo
ones. I think
bands.
you had like
Dashboard Confessional. Yeah.
It made me laugh.
Yeah.
It was genius.
That scene, I think, may have been the hardest scene to shoot in the entire series because there is so much dialogue, and that the pacing was so important, and you had 4 character arcs overlapping each other. You had Christopher dealing with his thing with Liz. You had Atreus and Kratos.
Trey.
You had
Just Trey.
Sorry. You had literally Gabrielle's little sister and Liz, and then you also had like Kratos and Christopher having their first real fight of like the whole time. Like, this is what happens when you turn, this relationship pretty toxic. And
Dave's in the scene.
And Dave's in the scene too.
Yeah.
He's the only one who does not have an arc in that scene. And it required precision, and it was one of the hardest scenes to shoot, but it turned out so great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think a little fun. It isn't too much of a spoiler. I saw someone mention it in the chat. There is a moment in the game where a character refers to Atreus as Trey.
Shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I had no idea.
There's a character that is like, he kind of talks and he goes, Trey. And Atreus is kind of like, Trey. And he's like, yeah, like a little nickname. Does that work for you? He's like, no. And
so the opposite of what.
But it's T-R-E with a little accent on it. But I yelled at my PlayStation 5 when that happened. Because I was like, we did it.
I mean,
it's not about us, but like we had the intuition. Yeah. We played with these characters. It is just doing God of Work was such a level header just to video games as a whole, and just playing with like this cavalcade of characters and just playing and building out this really fun fictional world. Like, I mean, like I wanted so badly to have Arthur Morgan in there with Kratos, because I was like, that came out the same year as God of Work, I did it again.
It's okay.
Red Dead Redemption 2 came out the same year as God of War, 2018. And I was like, these two had the game released together and like they're buddies. And so I was so excited to explore that relationship and just have fun with that. And it was just such a blessing and a joy working together with this amazing team and like building this original series from the ground up and making it happen. And boy, howdy, I hope you all go to sleep every day, because it was such an honor to work with you all, and it was such a joy and a bless. I know I've said that a second time, but it was so amazing to make this project with you all. And we made something so incredibly special.
Yeah, it was It was a dream come true. I mean, like when we got together and we had like a proper writer's room,
Yeah.
and we were sitting there thinking, all right, what's the arc of this? What characters are involved? You know, we went through a lot of development on it, and a lot of we had a lot of ideas, a lot of things changed, and finally got it to where we were. But it was so much fun. Like that's why I came out here. That's what I want to do. I'd love to write my own TV show, and to be able to go in there and pitch story arcs and character arcs and jokes and ideas and try to come up with what are the episodes going to be about. I mean, that was just an incredible experience.
Yeah, and I also want to say, I mean, Xplay as a team, we literally never stopped streaming, making videos. We never had a down week. And for a while, we were doing 5 videos a week, 5 cable episodes a week, 2 live streams a week, and some of it got trimmed a little bit, but not a ton. And we never stopped down for God of Work. It's something that Gerard and Emily brought to us, and we really wanted to do it. And we felt really strongly, and I felt really strongly I wanted to keep comedy as part of Xplay, because that's in the DNA. So we carved out time. We worked like for a couple weeks intensely on the outline to get it locked, and we were doing everything simultaneously. And Gabrielle was like not only directing it, but basically the whole production management team behind it, building budgets, hiring crew, project managing everything. It was the best.
Storyboarding, scheduling, like it was
Mm-hmm.
insane. Like if you saw the schedule, I mean, we were literally shooting 5 different episodes at a time. It'd be like, okay, what scene and episode is this? Okay, this is episode 3, scene 6. But then after we shoot episode 3, scene 6, now we got to shoot episode 5, scene 12. And it was it was maddening. And I don't know how the hell you did it. It was so impressive.
I just quick shout out to Verity, who is my assistant director. To Josie Bellerby again. She and Verity worked together to ensure that everyone's in the right clothes at the right time. Everyone's doing the right thing at the right time. Like we had these employee of the month picture frames that on Monday they were torn down, but on Tuesday for like 2 shots we need them up, and then they need to be torn down again. And like we're constantly moving. So like not only was it like planning for the future every day and like adjusting the schedule for what we were making, it was just being ahead of everything and having such an efficient team, such a wonderful team, camera, grip. Every single person was on top of it. Everyone was respectful. And I really, really appreciate how there was even room for more. Like there were more jokes we made up on the fly. There were things that were presented to me that I'm like, that's hysterical, let's do it. There were things that I was like, I don't know if we have time. We had time. We made time.
And everybody busted their ass on this so much because everybody was doing multiple things. I mean, like
shout out to John Nah.
Shout out to John Nah.
John Nah, the legend.
Absolutely.
John F. and Nah, baby.
But also, oh, hi, Shauna. Yeah, I mean, everybody, I mean, I was writing, helping produce. I was a script supervisor. I was in it. I was not supposed to be in it originally, by the way.
Neither was I.
Yeah, neither were you. But they literally came to me and said, we think it would be funny if you played a 17-year-old. And I was like, okay, sure, yeah. But I mean, Megan was producing, directing, and helping writing, and Emily is Emily. She just does everything too, and I mean, it was crazy how much work and sweat and heart everybody put into the project. It was,
and the people who were making Xplay. We had Golden Boy and Joe and Corey just crushing it on that side, so we could spin the week.
The Reggie Fils-Aimé interview was that week we were shooting.
I ran into Reggie Fils-Aimé dressed as Kratos, and we had this moment where he looked at me and he was like, "Gerard, it's good to see you." I was like, "It's good to see you, Reggie." He goes, "So you like Sony stuff now, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And he's like, "Awesome, it's good to see you." And he walked away.
But yeah, that project was. It was so much fun to shoot that. It was so much fun to shoot that. I'm so glad that we got to do it. It was great.
I don't know if this is controversial to say, but I think the thing that made me feel good in the end of all this was that no one wanted us to make God of Work. Like, and I don't. That's not a slight at anyone at the studio. Anything that went wrong to not let this show happen happened. There was a lot of people who were like, well, that's not very funny, or like, we don't believe in that. And I got to a point where I was like, here's the deal. We're going to make this whether you like it or not. You're either going to be the force that we roll over, or you're going to sidestep. You have to pick.
You're part of the steamroller or you're part of the pavement.
Correct.
Yeah.
We made this show in secrecy for so long.
I mean, seriously, Leffler and I, we're like, and so next week we will be shooting God of Work. This is just a series. It's a series.
Yeah.
You're like, so it looks like you're doing nothing on Xplay next
like
week.
the head of the studio is like, you're doing what? What is it? And we're like,
Yeah.
and then he's like, here's our plan.
Yes.
And here's everything. And that's why the schedule was so efficient. It had to be perfectly nailed down. And every single crew member had to be nailed down. Like, we had to have everything ready so that it was just oh, you already did it all.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And aside from about 4 pickup shots, we shot everything in a
days.
week.
In 5 days.
Not
yeah.
not even a week. 5 days.
5 days.
5 days we shot all of that. It was like
76.
76 pages. Yeah.
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 In that's absurd. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
And we pulled it off.
Yay,
Yeah. And you can check out God of Work in its completion on the Completionist
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah. So
Do you have a favorite moment from God of Work? Anybody?
Oh my gosh.
Real quick.
Real quick.
Very quick.
I definitely like the poop smear. That was always the funniest to me. That was crazy.
That
or
killed
when Phil
me.
got actually hit by a chair and
Yeah.
had to fake not being hurt.
Yeah.
Mine was when we shot the Game Genie stuff.
Yes.
So good.
Because that was the first
Yeah.
thing that I wrote that we filmed, and I was so nervous about it. And then when they had trouble getting through the scene, I was like, okay, good. Good. I feel good about this now.
Yeah, I think mine was the Game Genie stuff.
so good.
Game Genie was so funny. It was so fascinating just to do it, and just that moment of me wearing all of the Game Genie
All the
gear.
swag and
yeah,
and you wrote the slideshow that was up on the screen. That had a lot
did
of
the
Easter eggs and
PowerPoint.
jokes in there.
Yeah, there were a lot of Easter eggs in the set deck too. Like the night before we were filming, I was making posters for the HR's office.
It's so good.
Yeah.
They're so good. And then we needed printed out copies for the party. Like what would people be printing out at the party? And we have what's his name on the wall as
We have Kojima on the wall.
Kojima.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kojima.
Yeah.
Who has the family photo of Skeleton that I made?
I know. Where is
don't
that?
know.
Was great.
I don't know. I need to
that
find
was
that.
amazing.
Your favorite
Yeah.
moment?
I mean, the poop smear was hilarious.
Yeah.
This is hilarious.
I fell to the floor laughing.
Phil was so afraid to ask for that moment. He was like, "Hey, is it okay if we do this?" And I remember, Gabrielle, you were like, "I don't.
If it's the last shot.
If it's the last thing we do, sure, okay." It ended up being one of the best things in the show.
It was. We had done the Spartan steamer already at that point, and I think I was just like, "That's a lot of poop jokes."
Listen,
guys.
Leffler
It's a
loves
lot of
poop jokes.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true.
Poop is funny.
It is fun. Cake and poop.
Cake
and
What about you,
Xplay.
Emily? What was your favorite moment?
Gosh, I think for me, it was just, it was the moment where it just all hit. I think we were watching I think I was watching y'all shoot the Viking funeral for Employee of the Month outside in the little kiddie pool where we're lighting things on fire and
That was
saying
good.
goodbye.
That was fun.
And it just in that moment it hit me. I was like, oh man, this is it. We did it. We're shooting a comedy miniseries. I just felt that overwhelming sense of oh my gosh, all the hard work we'd done had led up to that moment. And then, my friend Steven just crumpling as Arthur Morgan and just dying,
so good.
dying in the.
Gina did a great job. I see you still in chat.
Gina,
Yeah,
She's
the
the CEO.
She was
Gina
so
Shout out
good.
to
so
Daniel
funny.
Thrasher and
Her drag
Brizzy
and
out.
Brizzy.
The
Phil.
drag out. Oh my
Her dragging
God.
Arthur Morgan out of the office.
There are also a lot of
It's so
improv
funny.
lines that were branded, so we couldn't say them. A lot of them had to do with porn sites that
Yeah,
you didn't get to
did.
see, but they
Thanks,
were very
Gina.
funny.
It's true. It's true.
On that note, I think it's time for another rad check-in.
Ooh.
Jake, do you want to hear?
Yeah.
I want to hear.
We are at $1,601.
okay.
So you still have time, ladies and gentlemen. We still have time to get up to that 2K, which is 3 slaps and a hug from behind from Sessler. So you can do that by going to.
When you say it like that, I don't want it.
Well, it's fine. You can go to bit.ly/xplayisrad or use !donate in the chat. And I've been seeing a lot of questions pop up in the chat. Guess what? We have a handy dandy form that we're going to be asking questions or answering your questions from now. So you can go to bit.ly/xplayquestions to find that Google form of questions, or you can just do !xplay in the Twitch chat, and that will send you to the question link. So let's get everybody on. We're going to kind of musical chairs this thing here as we ask questions from y'all. So thank you so much for jumping in and sending us some questions. I mean, y'all can just hang out in the wings.
Everyone
I think,
can stand
yeah, you're going to come pop on the side mic for
I
some
do
of
want
these.
to add one last thing about God of Work that I loved. The way that you guys wrote the episodes, they're so quotable. You have no idea how many times I say, I'm just asking questions, like in my daily life now. I can't.
I'm not doing shit on my birthday.
Yeah.
Also, today's my birthday.
Yes.
Today is my birthday.
I have to say, I love the intro of the God of Work.
Oh, the intro.
And here's an Easter egg. Here's an Easter egg. A lot of people don't know. Every person that wrote that episode, you'll see their hand in the intro.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know about that.
Yeah, the individual stamp that hits it.
Yep.
Everybody's.
We set off the smoke alarm, the fire alarm in the studio.
Well, thank you for
Good
making that happen.
Yeah, I just remember telling Gabrielle, I was like, I want it to be like Game of Thrones. I didn't know what else I said. Just Game of Thrones
Yeah.
it. And then I wasn't there
And
that
you kept
day.
asking what we were going to do, and I just went, Gerard, trust me.
It's true.
I know what
It's
I
true.
wanna do.
Well, because I couldn't be there for some reason. I was like, it was the one thing that I wasn't there to
rap
shoot.
party. The rap party.
It
The rap
was.
party
I was
was
preparing
that
the rap party. That's right. And I was like, I just want to see it. And then Noah came and showed it to me, and I was like,
Noah has that BTS of us doing it, the fire alarm going off, and us all going, let's keep going. Like,
yeah,
I have it on my phone too. You're just like, keep going, everyone.
Oh, there it is. It's so cool.
You guys did an amazing job.
3D
of that
printed.
Intro. It was
So
so
cool.
Really good.
Emily, any questions?
Yeah, so we're going to try and answer as many questions as possible. So my wonderful, wonderful Xplay fam, please answer these questions as quick as possible. I love
Copy
you all to
that.
pieces.
Yep.
Yeah.
Favorite game to review?
Of the recent era?
Yes.
Psychonauts 2. Yeah, y'all want me to say Kingdom Hearts 3, but it wasn't. That game's not fun.
I'm not doing
That's
that.
not fun.
I loved doing the TMNT review with Jake.
Which one?
Both of them.
Okay.
Both.
Yeah, they were both great.
Not a review, but a preview. Saints Row. When we went to Vegas.
Saints Row.
Amazing
that,
trip.
That was a blast.
Even though our flight got delayed, I don't know how
Oh
many
my
times,
God.
but yeah, we made it happen.
And it was hot as shit.
Yeah, very hot.
Vegas?
It was
I mean, but it was-
115 degrees.
At one point, I was like, I need to get out of this room and go for a walk. It was 10 p.m. It was 103 degrees.
Yeah.
My favorite that I produced the review, The Quarry. That was a whole.
Yeah.
That was a whole. I mean, it was an experience because like so many of us got together and played the game, and Gabrielle and I are screaming at Frost, "Do this, don't do that."
Yeah.
And that was a blast. And Emily was there, Megan was there, Sean was there. Like it was a lot of fun to do that one.
Yeah.
Next question.
I was looking through our videos to try and jog my brain. I think I really liked doing Back 4 Blood and Guardians of the Galaxy back to back. No, wait, no, it was the Sherlock Holmes game. It was the Sherlock Holmes game.
Sherlock Holmes game.
Yeah.
She just did a little music.
And you
right
actually
there.
said, because I just finished reading every Sherlock Holmes story there was in order of publication. And she said, what are your favorite stories? I'm like, I can answer this.
I was like, we're going to put a little fun spin on
The
it.
Speckled Band is my favorite.
Very good. Shout out to Gina. Thank you, Gina, for donating $100 raising money for RAD. Thank you so much. And Megan and Gabrielle, of course, if you have any thoughts or anything, run up and steal my mic, or steal any mic. Take what is yours. Claim the space.
Just take it.
Assert dominance. Let's see. What game deserves to win Game of the Year? Stray, Xenoblade, Elden Ring, God of War, Ragnarok, or Horizon?
It's Stray. Stray should win.
Oh,
There you go.
perfect. We got some lovely mics to land up.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's either going to be Elden Ring or God of War. I'm not even close to being done with God of War, so I can't say definitively. So by default right now, Elden Ring. But
Same. His name is Elden
actually,
Ring.
if I'm being honest, if I could pencil something in, it would be Vampire Survivors. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, a fancy.
I don't
It looked like a bunch of reporters.
respect award shows. So, Cult of the Lamb, Cult of the Lamb,
Yep.
Cult of the Lamb,
Yep.
Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah.
Because giving updates to friends about what I was doing in that game. I'm like, I'm getting rid of all the old people. And they're like, this game sounds awesome. Nothing else could do that.
Emily, was your mom concerned that you're playing a cult game?
I didn't tell her.
That's fair.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
tell her.
It's
Good.
Friends
Good you
of
did.
the Lamb. Mom. It's Friends of the Lamb.
It's a roguelike.
Church
It's
of
a
the
dungeon
Lamb.
crawler.
Church.
Yeah, it's Easter brunch.
I have to
Not
mention
that
this.
much better.
We were so excited because I showed you guys that I wanted to review I Am Jesus Christ coming out on Steam.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that game is amazing.
And I just received I think like a press release. Like it's coming, the official date. I think it's like December or something like that. So
That makes
I
sense.
wanted us to review that game so
25th.
bad.
Someone's birthday in December, so.
I Am Jesus Christ.
Beautiful.
We've been talking
Yeah.
about this for
Jesus.
months,
The
actually.
awakening
He does
of
have a birthday
Jesus.
coming
He
up.
does have a birthday.
Wait.
I just love the idea of Jesus
It's an
going after
official
quest
game
markers.
coming out on
They
Steam.
didn't call it Jesus Awakens. The Jesus Awakens.
Pushing it.
Look at it! It's so good.
Oh my God.
That would
Look,
have been.
Jesus is doing some
You
environmental
know,
puzzle
there
solving.
actually was, back in the early aughts, there was a first-person Jesus shooter.
Oh my God.
Jesus
There
shooter.
was.
Yeah.
Wait, are you shooting
Yeah,
at
the
Jesus
light
or
of
is
God
Jesus
came out of your hand?
Beautiful.
And there's probably no one in the chat that is old enough. It's going to come to me probably like hours later. I'm going to scream it on the street.
You're gonna wake up in the middle of the night in a
And
cold
just
sweat.
like, I just got the surge. And it'll slowly. Catechism.
Yes.
No, something like that. It wasn't called catechism, but I'm getting close. But yeah.
Catholicism. We can keep going.
So very quick. Also, shout out to Jake for reviewing one of the worst games on Xplay.
Oh, yeah.
Crossfire X. Congratulations, man. You did an
Yeah.
amazing
Speaking
job.
of that, that's my next question.
Yeah.
Let me find it. What is the angriest you ever got upset at G4?
The angriest?
Or just angriest? I guess you can get most passionate you got about a project or something. And I think, yeah, for you it was Crossfire X and TMNT.
I didn't. Well, yeah, I didn't. Crossfire X had so many. It was so bad that I didn't know how to. I was like, I have to write 15 minutes.
Yeah, I
And
had
was
to
like,
direct
there's-
that. And I remember you going, this is terrible. And like the whole bit it's terrible. And I was like, why is it this long then?
Yeah.
14 pages.
Why is it
Yeah.
14
But
pages?
I hate you, and let me tell you
Yes,
all the
it's
way.
like, oh my God.
Someone asked me, they were like, why is it, what's bad about it? I was like, it's like a sour cream burrito. It's just like, it's just bland and plain, and there's no redeeming qualities about it. And I was like, I don't know how to write this review. And they were like, well, maybe that's just the review. And I was like, all right, let me see how many different ways I can say that this game sucks.
Austin Creed was in the video
Creed
too.
was in
and,
there,
and
yeah.
Black
And
Bukaki?
TBH.
Yeah, TBH.
Yeah.
I've heard of this game. I know that
That's
it was really
about
bad.
as much
but
as you
it's
need.
not like about exercising.
No.
No.
Okay.
It's
Just
not
flat
about
out.
anything.
Because isn't that like an exercising when you cross?
CrossFit.
Crossfire?
CrossFit.
Are you
Crossfit.
still stuck on the Jesus thing with the cross
Yeah,
stuff?
yep.
Lacrosse.
Yep.
Crossfire
Hold
X.
on.
That was the
That's
first person
the Jesus
shooter.
game.
That
Wait,
Yeah.
Oh, look,
what's
that's
this?
that's
Oh.
That's the one?
That's the
Catechism. Wow. I can't believe
Oh my God.
Shout out to the
I'm
Spinner
really
Report
impressed.
in the chat for calling that out.
Wow.
Thank you.
Whoever remembered that, thank you so much.
Look at those
Yeah.
graphics.
The Spinner Report.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
Spinner Report.
My girlfriend who's in chat is mentioning, yes, I was also very stressed about having to do the review about every Ninja Turtles game ever. It drove me insane.
Yeah.
It was 55 games.
Yeah.
And it was another thing of like, I don't know how the hell I'm going to write this because
You only have 15 minutes.
yeah.
Also,
But it was great. It was
It was so fun.
what
to
about
be
the
in it.
Madden video?
Madden. Yeah. Why did I get stuck with all the? Yeah, the Madden one was interesting, where we played the last 10 years of Madden to see if they were all the same. Spoiler.
Yeah.
They pretty much
Every
are.
3 years.
Every 3 years we found was the cycle where they kind of changed something, but the thing that they changed, they kind of already did in the past, and they've just renamed it. So anyway,
Well, my favorite I don't know if you've done Judges Week, Danny.
Oh, yes,
I
that
don't
was
even know
part-
if
yeah.
they do it anymore. But
Oh,
that's
Judges
usually,
Week for E3.
It's an ability for a representative of every outlet to take a look at games for E3
Mm-hmm.
prior to E3. So then the critics would then vote on what was the best of E3.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things was that because eventually you have to do EA Sports, and it's kind of pointless because like no one else except for 2K
It's in the game.
makes a sports game. But every year when Madden comes up, they're like, all right, you thought it was great last year. That's not a really good game. This is the Madden. And it's just it's kind of like, we fooled you last year, but now you can have another Madden that you're going to like.
The line that we kept coming back to was EA Sports. It's a game. Because that's all it was. There was nothing, it was...
That sounds like a Joe Girardo line.
Yeah,
It's
well,
a
that's
game.
And you're still
knows.
just giving you material.
Yeah.
And you have the belt.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think we have just one
more.
last question.
One last question.
What was one thing, what was like your dream project or one thing you wish you could have done on the show?
I can go.
Besides-
I know.
Go.
So right before it all went down, I had been working on a massive speed running documentary, essentially a massive piece of work that was going to go into the history, the beginnings, and to where we are now. We've even recorded part of the audio for it. I had interviews with really famous speedrunners as well as developers of very famous games that were sped ran in the 80s, 90s, and to today as well. So hopefully that's, it never really got filmed. So maybe I'll continue to work on it. But that really felt like an homage to the speedrunning community, which is a big part of the gaming community. So.
Yeah, I have one as well.
Yes.
I have two actually, but I'll go real fast. So one of them is for months we have been begging Leffler to let us make a Sims video. Because a lot of us are huge Sims fans, and finally we got an analytics report that said that a lot of our audience probably were also big Sims fans, and it was enough that we could do it. So I wrote like a 20 or 25 page script that was every Sims expansion pack in the entire series. No stuff packs, no game packs, just official expansion packs. It's like 38 expansion packs. And I love The Sims, but also I was like, I know how Jake feels. Because I don't want to write about this anymore.
There was such a great line in that script, which was, The Sims Pets expansions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. And I was like, yes.
It's true. It's true. And then second one, we were planning on bringing Xplay Pluses back, but we were going to fully theme them around launches of games. So we were going to do a Sonic Frontiers one where we killed Kasonic. We were going to do a God of War one where we were working on a song that was recapping the God of War franchise up until now. We were going to do a Callisto Protocol one where we had I wanted to do a listicle that was like the best monsters that would be boyfriends. Yeah. So those I was really excited about, especially to bring back runners and comedy bits. So R.I.P.
I have two very quickly. I know we're running out of time, but one, I wanted us to travel. There was one project that I was working on. I'm not going to mention the name of the studio or anything, but we were planning to travel. I think, was it Europe? Was it London?
We thought it was Europe.
Was it London?
Europe
No,
or
Canada.
London.
It was
It's a
Canada.
continent or city.
But anyway, we're planning to do that.
Learn the hard way.
Didn't work out in the super last minute. But one of the projects I was very, very passionate, Retribution. We were working on that too.
Yeah.
With you and Golden Boy and also Leffler, we were working on that too. So
$300 till we hit our goal, by the way.
Come on, guys. Come on,
We're
guys.
almost there. Come on,
Go
guys.
donate
We gotta slap
the
Jake.
end of the stream, let's do it. Retribution, yeah.
Real quick.
I gotta work season 2. I really wanted to do that. I had also worked on a video where I wanted to determine what the best snack to eat during gaming was, where I developed a whole scientific process.
I do not want a snack. Sorry. It's just the best line in all of video games.
Yes.
I developed a scientific process for us to determine what's the best snack to eat while gaming. It was called the Spectrum system. I can't remember what the whole acronym was,
Feel.
but it was like flavor, ease of eating, consistency,
Taste?
No, because that would be
Texture?
flavor. That's consistency.
Oh.
Anyway, it was something like that. I can't remember. But another one that I wanted to do that Joe and I talked about was we had been playing NBA 2K and PGA Tour 2K, and we kind of wanted to do something port reportish called eSports Center, where we talked about sports games and do something with that. But
yeah.
There's one. What I had planned to do for Kingdom Hearts 3 review. This is not in any way. It was a great review, but I had a lot planned. Unfortunately, life got in the way of that one. My wife had to have incredibly serious surgery, and the scope of. But I wish I could have unleashed the analogies I had in my head, which were probably at their absolute prime, but I couldn't hold on to them for more than 10 seconds because my brain was going so many other directions. But at the very least, I got the closure of having played that god-awful game. But I don't think I fully conveyed, even with a 1 out of 5, how miserable, awful, and like the end of. I had a whole essay about how the game had encapsulated the collapse of Western civilization.
Yeah.
And that, that this is the gaping maw of the end of all things.
That at least
can be found inside of Kingdom Hearts 3.
That at least attempted a story. Crossfire X didn't even try.
Drew, real quick.
This is high level that no one really knew about, but I was about to pitch a reboot of Starcade. We were very close to getting a sponsor and putting that in production, as well as Icons, because those two shows were so formative for me in my journey to Xplay, and I knew that with me coming to Xplay, those were the two shows that I was like, this is what my identity was, and if I'm gonna be here, those are the two goddamn things I was gonna do before I left. And I fought so hard for both, and one of them was taken off. The other was further down the road, but I was very pumped to kind of be the secret bully that was trying to get those shows made.
And you know what? Hurl was just somewhere right in the distance, right after Starcade. We could have brought back the magic.
For me, I was really excited to work. I think Joe and I have a deep love for the Watch Dogs series. I love those games. We're in San Francisco. I can go to all the places in Watch Dogs too. But we were going to write this really, really fun Watch Dogs retrospective that I was excited about. And then my dream project, which I did the bad thing of talking about it so much and never really finalizing it, but it was going to be a film noir about what killed LA Noire. And so it was going to be shot in black and white. We were going to do costumes. We were going to do a fun, it was going to be a murder mystery thread throughout. Maybe it will have life on a YouTube channel I'm starting. But
breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. We hit the goal.
World
we
exclusive?
hit the goal.
We hit the goal.
We hit the goal.
We hit the goal.
We hit the goal.
Yeah.
Where's
the stuff now? How you doing?
$231 for Rise Against
Yes.
Thank you all so much. So Jake, let's do it, Jake.
One
It is
last lap.
time. One last time. All right. We're gonna just line up right behind you.
Meanwhile, we're gonna bring also.
In order. We'll go in order. And we're gonna do we're gonna do a
In
little fun
order.
thing after this.
Reed, you need help?
Let me move out of the way.
All right.
In order.
Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Go. Go in the middle. The last one right here. Last one.
Adam has to hug him from behind.
Yeah. Okay. Adam, you gotta.
I'll be your supportive hug.
So wait, this is gonna be three hugs. I mean, 3 hugs or 3 slaps? Wait, go.
Hold on.
All right. What's the camera? What's the camera? Hold on.
Here we go.
There you go. All right. All right.
I can give you the Heimlich.
Oh my God.
All right, ready?
I'm more worried about
Slap number 1. Here it comes.
That gotta be good.
Oh!
Go.
Oh, no, come on.
And you said go left.
Yeah, do it again.
I'm gonna do left too because I did make you red on the side.
God, you sure did.
Oh no.
You guys are about to make me sweat. That was the one. That was the one.
So thank yous.
We're gonna do a quick round of thank yous real quick. You good? So many people helped make this happen. So many people helped make Xplay happen. Thank you to Rihanna for helping put a rad together and for helping co-produce this special. Parker, Jason, the entire Rad team, thank you so much for working with us. Jefferson, Abby Russell, Zipper, Michael Leffler, Golden Boy, Frost, the Black Hokage, Austin Creed, our editors, Vinny, Ed, Coyd, and Eric, Gex Mantha, Felicity and Lucinda, our amazing makeup artists, Josie, Luis Dorman, Fiona Nova, Vanessa Guerrero, Noah, Kendall, Christian, Kenny, K-Fam, Guillermo, Blair, and Twig, and everyone at G4. We love you so much. It was such a joy working with all of you, and it's such a wonderful time. And I'm so thankful that we have the chance to say goodbye together, and this was the best experience of my life, and I would never trade it for anything in the world. So thank you all so much.
Thank you to KindaFunny
Funny
for hosting us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
You want
To Xplay.
to Xplay?
All right. There you go.
Cheers. Love you guys.
How would you rate? Give it to us one last time, Adam.
Yeah, okay. The final thing is, look, the pleasure was working with all of you. I've said it before, I'll say it again. In all honesty, it was a ridiculously talented group of people. I thought nothing would touch kind of the high point of the old Xplay. I think it was on par with that. And once again, the ability to pivot, the ability to move, a really good sense of humor, and doing live stuff, which we had never done as Xplay. I mean, it was. I'm more than happy with what got done. I'm obviously just like all of you.
Yeah.
Very, very sad we didn't get to see where we were on track for, because it was looking good. But I wish you all the best. The one thing I do want to say to everyone out there: these are insanely talented people. If you need a producer, if you need someone on camera, really, do not think twice. Reach out to me. You can find me on that silly social media thing being ruined by the Afrikaner man. But other than that,
How would you rate this stream, Adam?
5 out of 5.
There you go.
I mean,
One last time. No, but you got to do the
You gotta do
Adam
the voice. Do the voice.
You got to do the
This is
voice.
it, kids. This might be the last time.
It's my ringtone.
No, it is. It's a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers.
Thank you all so much for joining us, and thank you once again to KindaFunny Games for hosting us
Thank
here
you,
and letting us
KindaFunny.
have
Thank you
this.
so much.
really appreciate it.
We
Thank you,
really,
guys.
really appreciate. Be sure to catch all of their content nonstop. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and never stop playing.
We're not.